This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL Premiership season.
AFL. On your radio.
On digital. And take us with you on the ABC Listener.
Look for the AFL button.
The Blues return to the scene of last week's thrilling 2-point loss to Adelaide. Their first loss of the season as they look to deliver similar to the Giants, who are still unbeaten on top of the AFL ladder. Hello, welcome to Docklands in Melbourne. It's round 6 of the AFL. Both sides are missing some key personnel. Sam Taylor through concussion, Steve Coniglio a knee injury, and a couple of soft tissue injuries from Mitch McGovern and Adam Sard join the growing list in the injury room for the Blues. Can the Giants curtail two of the biggest forwards in the game, Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow? We'll bring it to you on ABC Sport this afternoon. There's no late changes with Jack Carroll and James Peatling, the subs this afternoon. Matt Clinch will call the action alongside Joel Peterson. Great to see you, Joel.
Great to see you, Clinchy. Good afternoon to everyone listening out there. It's one of those days where at the quarter pole of the season you start to learn a little bit about teams. We've seen Collingwood and Port Adelaide go head-to-head. Tonight we get Geelong and Brisbane, and we've got another two contenders meeting today. They might be a little bit down on their best, as you mentioned, but this is sure to be an intriguing clash.
And judging on the momentum shifts in which we've already seen today, we tend to get some wacky results under the roof. So two sides who think they are premiership contenders, we'll get a good gauge this afternoon as to how realistic that is. Nathan Burke is here, Australian Football Hall of Fame member, St Kilda team of the century. Welcome to you, Burkie.
Hello, Clinchy. Yes, looking forward to this one. I haven't seen the Blues live this year. I went up to Canberra and saw the Giants last week just demolish the Saints for a half and then sort of go to bed at three-quarter time and let them back into the game. But when they're up and running, they're a very, very good unit. So really interested in this one. Yeah, the Saints with the last 6 goals of the match almost pinched it, but a great mark from James Peatling, who is the sub once more tonight. It's great to have 3-time AFLW All-Australian player, captain of the Blues, Kez Peterson. Welcome to you. Great to see you for 2024.
G'day, Clinchy. It is nice to be here. I was here last week under the roof, but I was out in the stands and wasn't particularly thrilled with the results. So looking forward to seeing what the Blues can do to bounce back today. But I said during the week that I think the Giants at the moment are my premiership tip. So very, very excited to see how this one plays out. Yeah, the questions leading into this afternoon's match is few and plenty. So the challenge is with no Sam Taylor. How much is that going to affect the Giants' defence, Kez and Berkey and Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay? I mean, so much of footy today comes down to who's dominating in the centre square, but if they can get the ball in quickly, that's going to make it a tough task for the Giants defenders this afternoon.
It will, but Buckley went down there last week after Sam Taylor went down and did a pretty good job. So you've probably got Himmelberg, Iden and Buckley as the big three going to take on the impressive Carlton forward line. So I think they're good enough to actually do the job. I don't see a really, really big hole. Up the other end, you've got Wiedering versus Hogan, which I think will be a bit of a pivotal clash. But what I've seen from football so far this weekend, from Thursday, Friday and the game today at the MCG, that can't really tell who plays on who in the back line and the forward line, because most defenders these days tend to want to get the football more than stop their opponent. So we'll see what happens today. And we do see with Sam Taylor and Steve Coniglio out, Cal Ward comes back in for the Giants. Played his first ever VFL game in Giants colours, which seems a little unfair given his career and how long he's been around. But just made a rather handy return, dominating at that level as well, which came as no surprise for those that have watched his career closely. So he comes back in alongside Lick Alia, who will play his 5th AFL game, his first since 2022. So he'll get an opportunity inside the Giants' defence. And Cowan and Young come in for the Blues for Sard and McGovern. The final member of our team sitting in the front row this afternoon is Ian Cohen. Welcome to you, Koza.
Thanks very much, Clinchy. The roof is shut. The deck is fast. Patrick Cripps has had the first win for the Blues, and they will kick to the right of your ABC Sport Radio. As we've said, Carroll is the sub for the Blues and Peatling for the Giants. Fisher, Nichols, Howarth and Finlay are your umpires, with both coaches already in position, as is the trend these days. Michael Voss and Adam Kingsley also on the bench.
Thank you, Koza. And you can tell by the volume level that the Blues fans are in the house tonight. There's a small section of giant orange. If you look to the right in which we can see it, the Giants in their predominant orange strip with the white G and the white shorts, and the Blues in their navy blue to continue round 6 of the AFL. Two sides competing for the AFL Premiership this season, we think. It's the Blues and the Giants. Here's Joel Peterson to get us underway.
So Kieran Briggs to go up against Mark Pitternet to start things off. They body each other up. Briggs brought it down, but straight to Cripps for the Blues. Now Walsh, so prolific on return last week. Burst away with the opening clearance. Kicks to full forward. Mackay came over the top, reached up, couldn't drag it in. Ash is there at ground level. He's quickly tackled by De Koning and Cottrell. And an immediate stoppage inside the defensive 50 for the Giants.
Thrown up in the air, the two rucks tangle. Pitnet knocks it down into the path of Kennedy. In a milestone game, he gets a hand pass out towards Sam Walsh. It's knocked away from him. Callaghan keeps it alive with a hand pass toward for the Giants. Away to Tom Green. He looks up at left half back. Around the boundary line, he finds Bedford. Tom Green has the headband tonight, looking more like a rugby union player than an AFL player. As Toby Bedford will switch it back inside defensive 50, and Connor Iden takes the mark. Iden works it to right half back, where Buckley looks for an avenue out of defence, but for the moment he's hemmed in to the defensive 50. Opening minute of the match from Docklands. Collingwood with their third win on the trot, 42-point winners over Port Adelaide. The kick up to the wing. Callum Brown tries to juggle the mark. It's knocked away by Harry Mackay. Tries to keep it in play for a few moments. A chance still for the Blues as Pitnet now lays the tackle. Spills out to Walsh. The umpire circles. And he'll ball it up at left half forward for the Blues.
You've got Tom Green versus Patrick Cripps in the clearances. The two heavyweight going head-to-head there. Probably the two of the biggest midfielders going around.
Going to be an entertaining duel. Any other year they might have been playing out a centre-half forward.
It would have back in my day. Absolutely.
Both at sort of 6'3", 6'4", imposing figures around the footy. Another stoppage on that outer side. Briggs worked Pitternet off it. He went to ground. Ollie Hollands grabs it. He's grabbed by Kieran Briggs, which is a position that no player would want, especially when you're giving up that kind of size. Another ball up on the wing on that outer side. There's a free kick in this contest. It'll go to the Giants. Ollie Hollands is convinced it's his kick. Umpire says no, it's going to Brent Daniels, who takes it for the G-men.
Well, fair enough. The umpire actually signalled the other way, so I can see how that confusion happened.
Short to Callaghan, who tries to switch play to Kelly. Akers made the spoil for the Blues. A chance to be won here. Kennedy gathers for Carlton. Hand pass to Akers into the middle of the ground. Tough one for Elijah Hollands, who turns it over in the end. The Giants a chance to win it back. As O'Halloran jams it on the boot, up towards half forward. Toby Green fends off the tackle of Boyd, kicks into space, out in front of Callum Brown. Can he get there? Just can't wheel it in with the right arm. Gathered by Kemp, locked up at the top of the 50. And a ball up with the Giants on the verge of attack. No score through the opening 3 minutes on ABC Sport.
So right on the edge of the arc. Two rucks lope over to this football. Blues in their defensive half. Pitternet with the clearance after doing the ruck work. Kicks up the wing and finds De Koning. He looks up and doesn't see a lot at home. Eventually rolls on, kicks it straight into the man on the mark in Connor Iden. Kennedy, former Giant, coming over the top for the Blues in the tackle. Ball's locked up on the logo outer side.
It's interesting the Blues have gone with the three tall forwards with De Koning starting in the forward line, try and stretch that undermanned Giants defence.
Pitternet belts it out in the ruck. Cripps overran it, let Green in for a moment. He soccers it back the other way. It'll bounce its way to Newman, just defensive side of halfway of the wing for the Blues. Kicks up toward half forward. Iden nudges to Koning under it. Roved by Cripps. Handball off to Cottrell. Lowers the eyes and finds the chest of Mackay. He comes out on his knees, Harry. 35 out, 45-degree angle left of centre.
Aaliyah just unfortunately slipped at the wrong time then and allowed Mackay to be able to lead up. But really clever play by Cottrell. He probably was within right to have a ping there. He created space between him and his opponent, but lowered the eyes and hit Harry. This would be a good start for Harry. He was held goalless against the Giants in the 2 games last year, so this would be a very good start for him.
2 goals won last week against the Crows. Missed a shot from a similar spot. Laid on, left foot kick from Harry Mackay for the opener. He's away to the right. It does open the scoring, but only in a minor fashion. Through 4 minutes, it's the Blues by that 1 point.
As Lockie Whitfield looks to bring the Giants back into play. He veers out to the right, hugs the boundary line with a kick to Lockie Ash, who marks just inside the field of play, up against the boundary at half back. No late changes with Peatling and Carroll, the subs for the respective sides this afternoon. As Ash kicks as far as he can in the direction of Brown, flying in from the side. Cadman couldn't take the mark. Patrick Cripps landed awkwardly. Walsh tries to come over the top of Tom Green and locks the ball up with Hewitt stuck underneath. The ball up centre wing. The Blues are behind to the Giants yet to score.
Pitternet comes in from behind Briggs. It was the Giants' big man who got the tap. And Cripps, he's going to get a free kick here, being held onto by Green. So from right on halfway, Patrick Cripps kicks to half forward. Aaliyah and Mackay collide. Free kick in the marking contest going to the Carlton forward. And Harry's got it right on the numbers of the 50.
Probably a little bit stiff there earlier. Both players appeared to overrun or underrun rather the footy, and Harry, I think he made the umpire work for that one. He certainly played for it, but he'll take it.
He's going to have a go from outside the arc. Harry Mackay from 55 metres out won't have the carry. Pitternet almost had it land in his lap, just couldn't take the mark. Briggs belts it back the other way for the Giants, and Hogan pulls in a strong mark over the top of Boyd on the edge of the defensive 50.
Important mark there by Hogan, because he was surrounded by 3 smaller Carlton players. That would have come straight back if he hadn't have grabbed that one.
And the numbers streaming past him as he had to try and make the right decision. Goes short to Finn Callaghan, who has it left half back for the Giants. Sends a high ball in the direction of Cadman, who's in a wrestle. In the end, Newman decided not to fly. He swatted it to the advantage of Wiedering. Kicks the Blues up to the wing. He missed Kennedy. O'Halloran tries to keep it alive. It just goes out of play. And a boundary throw in just in front of the 2 benches. Carlton are behind. GWS yet to score. Matt Clinch and Joel Peterson calling the action. And Cohen down on the boundary. Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson, your experts on ABC Sport. Just one loss so far between these two sides. This is thrown back in. Pitnet wins down the tap against Briggs. Got it to Cripps. Hand pass to Walsh. Evades a tackler. Hand pass to Newman and back to Walsh. At right half back. The Carlton Dynamite looks into the middle of the ground. Tough ball for Cottrell. Couldn't take it cleanly. Great clean pick up for the Giants as Perryman gives it to Tom Green. Inside 50, Hogan. Marks on his chest. And he's going to give it off. Goes short to Daniels, who was unmarked. Gains another 10 metres directly in front. 45 metres out from goal.
I like that from Tom Green, because he picked up the ball, and most players in that situation would handball off, just give a useless handball, but he turned and he kicked the ball straight away, and Hogan knew he was going to do it, gave his defender no chance of spoiling. So don't overuse the ball, turn around, kick it to your forwards.
1-2 last week for Brent Daniels, looking for the opening goal of the match, and he strikes truly for the Giants. The Blues with a couple of chances at the other end, but it's GWS who have the opener. 7.5 minutes gone. They're 1 straight 6 to Carlton, 1 behind. On ABC Sport, you and Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson.
Unsurprisingly, Jacob Wiedering has the match-up, or the direct match-up with Jesse Hogan, and just got led to the ball there. Hogan was very clever, as he rightly pointed out. Burke, he just created some separation and very unselfishly hit Daniels. It has become a very, very accurate kick for goal. Really well played by the Giants.
That's the importance of turning the ball over through that middle of the ground. I think it was a Sam Walsh kick that just didn't quite hit its target. Landed at Cottrell's feet, couldn't pick up the ball below his knees, and the end result is a goal to the opposition.
8th of the season for Daniels, the first of the game here. Back in the middle, Hewitt with the clearance. To Cripps, to Walsh. It's a wobbly old thing to right half forward. Mackay will have to turn Rover here. Did well. Flicked it off to Elijah Hollands. Went looking for brother Ollie by hand. Cut off by Kelly. Shares it by hand with Himmelberg. Now a bounce across the defensive 50 for Lockie Ash. He slips through the Owie. He's taking the game on. Releases the kick out wide. Big collision. Couple of Blues run into each other. There was a push in the pack. It was...
A good decision by the umpire.
Yeah, Blake Acres in the end, who collided with Brodie Kemp, and Acres is going to get the free kick. He's at left half forward for the Blues.
Yeah, a bit clumsy by Jacob Weir there.
It was Ware who gave away the free kick with a shove. The long kick inside 50. Himmelberg spoils it. Straight into the path of Durden. Hand pass to Owies. Hard against the boundary in the left forward pocket. The Blues trying to keep it alive. Giants desperately defending, and Himmelberg in the end forces it out of play for a throw in. Left forward pocket for the Blues. They're 1 behind to the Giants. 1 straight 6. 9 minutes gone. Opening term on ABC Sport. Well, spinning back into play as the 2 rucks settle themselves. Briggs in front position. Pitnet from behind. The umpire just holding things up for half a moment for a blood rule. And Cohen on the boundary.
Yeah, Blake Acres has come off and he's being attended to. Fantasia has just come on.
Thanks, Koza. Toss back in. Pitnet works his way to the front. Slaps it down to the path of Captain Cripps. Gets the hand pass away. Ollie Hollands jams it inside 50. Looking for Owies. He takes the mark in between Iden and Himmelberg. And an impressive mark on his chest.
Well, there was an element of luck there, because Owies had a player in front of him and behind him, and it landed perfectly right in between the two of them. But he positioned himself where the ball was, and his defenders didn't, so that's why he's got himself a shot for goal.
7 goals, 4 so far this season for Matt Owies. He's on a 45-degree angle, only around 25 metres out, to try and get the Blues going this afternoon. Matt Owies comes in and steers it straight through the middle. Carlton with their first of the match to take the lead. 1-1-7 to the Giants, 1 straight 6. 10.5 minutes gone, opening term on ABC Sport. Earlier today it was Collingwood winners by 42 points over Port Adelaide. Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport.
Much has been made of Carlton's inability to win the clearances for the first couple of rounds this year, Berkey, but already they're 6-3 in favour of Carlton, and Cripps has really been the one that's led that. He was the one who got the clearance out of that last boundary throw-in. He's had 3 clearances himself. He's up to 6 disposals. He's really imposing himself on this game. So the likes of Green and Kelly and whoever the other midfielders from the Giants need to get a bit of a hold on him.
He's looking really sharp around the contest at the moment. He also got the front and centre, which got the handball over the top for the first shot at goal as well. So he started well, Cripps.
Brent Daniels opposed to him at this ball up in the centre, and it spills the way of Cripps. Handball's off to Hewitt. High kick inside the forward 50. Curnow and Mackay. Mackay went up in front. Curnow was out the back. Almost fell to him. Chasing it down. He's always in the right forward pocket. He's dragged down in a strong tackle. Again, that Giants defence holds up. This time it's Harry Himmelberg who's able to bring a stop to things. We'll have a ball up, 45 out from the Blues goal. De Koning intelligently over his head. Green scrambles the kick out of defence for the Giants. And the Tom Green kick lands in the lap of Lockie Cowan back into the Blues team.
The Tasmanian in the number 2, kicks long towards the teeth of goal. De Koning's there, he flies in the back, can't take the mark. Durden bounces off an opponent. A tough one for Callaghan for the Giants, clears the congestion. Daniels away to Tom Green. Hand pass out to left half back. It's taken by Thomas. He looks up the wing. Cal Brown's the target. He kicks over his head, almost juggled the mark, knocks it away from Kemp, and then Wienering. He races back after the Irishman. He gathers, hand passes to Hogan, just needs to finish. Little fumble, dribbles it through on the outside of the right boot. They made it a bit harder than it needed to be, but Jesse Hogan made sure they got their second goal of the match, just from about 6 or 7 metres out in the left forward pocket. He dribbles through their second. 2 straight 12 to Carlton, 1-1-7. Hogan was the provider with the first goal for the Giants. This time he puts through his first.
Well, that's the typical Giants play. There was a scramble in their back line. Once they get the ball out into space and they run and they share, I don't think there's a better team at the moment who run downhill going with the football into their forward line. And it was a beautiful kick over the top to Callum Brown. It just couldn't quite mark it. Was smart enough, though, and strong enough to burst his way through Wienering. It was a bit of a dodgy handball to Hogan, but he was smart enough to just angle it through on his right boot. But if you can't slow down the Giants from one end of the ground to the other, your back line are going to be in for a really tough day.
Thoughts of Nathan Burke with you on ABC Sport. 19th of the season for Jesse Hogan, so he extends his lead at the top of the Coleman race to a couple over Charlie Curnow. Free kick and advantage to De Koning out of the middle for the Blues. Long to full forward. Mackay, Lear athletically belts it down from over the back. Straight to Cottrell. Sidestep, snap, goal. End-to-end stuff under the roof at Docklands. And Matt Cottrell answers straight back, and we've got our 4th lead change of the opening frame. Carlton 2-1-13, the Giants 2 straight 12, 14 minutes played in the opening term.
This is good a forward craft as what you could possibly hope for from Matt Cottrell. He just positioned himself now. It was very impressive. Lee Kalia leaping over the top to affect the spoil, and Cottrell just happened to be in the right spot at the right time, and a terrific finish. But again, it was the clearance out of the middle. That time it was De Koning. Carlton's now leading the clearances 8-4. So the Giants aren't helping themselves, not getting their hands on the footy. And if it's coming in as hot as that is, with the small forwards in the right spot, it's going to be a bit of a long day for the Giants.
The voice of 3-time All-Australian in the AFLW, Carlton captain Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport. Kennedy in game 100 gets the clearance to Walsh inside 50. Curnow was dragged down. In fact, the free kick in front was Elijah Hollands, who's going to get the shot on goal, slightly right of centre. And a chance for the Blues to put 2 on in quick succession.
I think a tad lucky there. It looked like both players had a significant hold of each other, except the Giants player gave the extra swing, which ended up his opponent being on the ground. And once the umpire saw that, he blew his whistle.
The former Gold Coast son, Elijah Hollins, comes in from 48, hangs it out to the left, it works its way back to the right. The Blues with 2 quick goals in quick succession to open up a 7-point advantage. 3-1-19 to GWS 2 straight 12. 15 minutes gone, opening term on ABC Sport.
Well, that centre bounce is just a real dilemma there for the Giants. That was another straight out of the middle, and they're not just doing it sort of scrubbing the ball forward. That was Sam Walsh with plenty of time and space to get the ball into a dangerous spot. So the Giants need to put Green into the middle this time. So the captain's gone, enough of this. I'm going to get myself into the middle, Toby Green, and make a difference. You've got Callum Ward in there as well with Josh Kelly. So you've got the experience in there. See if they can arrest the what's been happening.
2 secondary rucks in Riccardi and De Koning as well. Justin Power lays it down in the centre. De Koning decisively down. Walsh went straight past it. Kelly for the Giants is there. Shares the handball with Riccardi. Got it back. Tumbles a kick to centre half forward. Bounces high inside the forward 50 for the Giants. Pinched by Williams. Got it away with the handball. A bouncing one into the centre of the ground. Picked up by Elijah Hollins. Kennedy got grabbed by his former teammate in Kelly. Pinged holding the ball. Free kick to Kelly. 70 from home for the Giants. Looks to move it quickly. Darts his kick into the pocket. The rise of Cadman. Pulling in a strong mark. 25 from home, 40-degree angle to the left. And the youngster showing some of his promise there.
That was an exceptional kick from Kelly. Just knew exactly where his forward was going to be leading in Cadman, and the trajectory of that kick just gave the defender absolutely no chance, but a terrific mark from Cadman.
Thought it was going over his head for all money, but he just leapt. He probably marked it about 14 feet in the air.
So Aaron Cadman for his 10th of the season. It's a pinch one back for the Giants. He left it out to the left. Minor score. Margin 1 straight kick. Giants 2-1. Blues 3-1. 17 and a half gone in the opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
If you want to get in touch with us on the SMS, 0437 774 774. If you've got a thought or a question for Kez or Berkey, let us know where you're listening from and your name as Zach Williams brings the Blues back into play. Sends it long towards Harry Mackay. He's in the pack with De Koning. Off hands, it's spoiled away close to the boundary line and now across in front of Hewitt and O'Halloran for a boundary throw in.
He started well, Aaliyah. That's the second spoil that he's affected. He's just giving himself enough space to really run and launch at the footy and not give Harry Mackay any chance.
How'd you sleep, Kez? 5th game of AFL footy. Haven't played since 2022. You find out you're playing on Harry Mackay, one of the most damaging forwards in the game.
Well, you haven't got much to lose, have you?
No. Callahan for the Giants. Kicks up towards half forward. Unable to take the mark. And Zach Williams clears for the Blues. Sends it up towards De Koning. He's out number 2-on-1. Himmelberg can't take the mark. He has Aaliyah for support. Gives the hand pass off to him. To Callahan across halfback. Now the reliable Lockie Whitfield. Looks for an avenue out of defence. Kicks up to O'Halloran, who marks centre wing for the Giants.
34 last week for Lockie Whitfield. So often the link man for the Giants. O'Halloran inboard to Kelly. Now to Himmelberg. Driving kick inside the forward 50. Hogan's the target. A couple to beat. Spilled down toward Toby Green. He couldn't handle it. Cadman's handball to Harry Thomas from the left forward pocket. Squaring kicks a grubber in the end. Taken in defence for the Blues. Newman had a play at it. And now an awkward moment for Wiedering. Grabbed by Hogan. Umpire comes in, says mine. 25 out from the Giants' goal. They trail by 1 straight kick. 19 minutes gone opening term.
Inside 50s, 8-6 the way of the Blues. The Giants have it here, though. Riccardi doing the ruck work. Got it down. Tough one for Toby Green, laying on his back, tries to get it back to Riccardi. To Finn Callahan, under pressure, becomes the tackler. Ball spills clear. Newman, under pressure, gets the hand pass away. The clearing kick from Kemp. Up to Kennedy. He gathers. Good, clean composure. Hand pass to Blake Acres. He kicks a risky ball into the corridor and Cal Ward takes the mark. Options are plenty. Goes short to Thomas, who marks just inside 50. Only slightly left of centre and a chance to put through the Giants' third. He's going to give it off here. Whitfield on the run. He shanks it from 48. It won't carry the journey. And Blake Acres marks for the Blues. 5 metres out from his defensive goal. A good, reliable defensive spot to be.
He's got the Tom Green style headband as well as Blake Acres. Goes to Cowan, now to Newman. Runner up in the best and fairest last year. Nick Newman, such a reliable defender. And that's Big part of the reason why that scything left foot kick down the line on that occasion lands it safely into the arms of Durden. He kicks up the broadcast side wing for the Blues. Pitternet was there. Over the back was Buckley, who takes the defensive mark for the Giants, cuts it dangerously infield, just past the grasp of Sam Walsh, into the lap of Ward. He comes across the back 50 to the city side for Iden, and the Giants are moving it pretty well to the outer side. They're doing it nicely, trailing by 6 points, 20 gone opening term.
Jacob Ware leans out to the left, kicks it as long as he can in the direction of Briggs. Can't take the mark. Cadman looking for Brown. It's pinched though by Zach Williams, the former Giant, dodging and weaving. He finds an avenue forward, kicks too wide for Owies. And out of bounds on the full. The Giants will take it back at right half back. And a chance for Connor Iden to get involved. Gets it from Ware to centre half back to Lockie Ash. Looks straight down the middle for Whitfield. Takes the mark defensive side of the centre circles, trying to find the right avenue forward. Beautiful weighted kick that finds Tom Green. One of the favourites for the Brownlow medal already in the early stages. He looks high inside 50, sets it in the direction of Brown. He got up early before acceptances. Kemp spoils it down. Toby Green thought he was taken high, no whistle. Gets the hand pass to Riccardi on his right, who puts it through. Jake Riccardi playing for the whistle, and he finishes from the right forward pocket, and scores are level. The Giants answer back 3-1, 19 apiece through 22 minutes in the opening term on ABC Sport.
Good snap there by Riccardi in the end. It was a bit of a tough shot. Toby Green did hang on to the ball a fair bit of time, but I think it was a good decision by the umpire. He got his arms free and handballed the ball off, so no free kick there. I don't think here you go with the boos from the crowd. They've just seen it on the replay, but a good decision by the umpire. And it's been a bit of a scrap the last couple of minutes. Both teams sort of a little bit scrappy, playing some really good defensive stuff through the middle of the ground.
Umpiring decisions have been the topic of the day. Sam Draper, yes or no, holding the ball?
Up on the wing it would have been.
And in the third quarter?
Yes.
Kez?
No, that was holding the ball. Yep.
Yeah, I think everyone has reached the same conclusion by the end of the weekend.
Ball back in the middle. Scores tight here. 22 and a half gone in this first term. Joel Peterson, Matt Clinch, Kieran Peterson, Nathan Burke and Ian Cohen with you. Saturday twilight footy on ABC Sport. Couple of big games to come tonight, of course. Western Derby 58. And Geelong and Brisbane up at the Gabba. We do it all again in the middle. Whitfield's on the end of this for the Giants. Hands it off to Callaghan. Lovely lofted kick out wide. Finds Toby Green, who's 75 from home at left half forward. Gains some territory on the mark, getting away from Cowan. Sends a high footy to full forward, right at the edge of the goal square. Cadman stretches up, can't mark. Taken by Elijah Hollins. He had it knocked out of his grasp. Cripps came over the top of O'Halloran. And a ball up, 25 out from the Giants' goal, having kicked the last to tie the scores. We're 23 through the first.
Thrown up in the air. Briggs wins down the tap against Pitnet. Blake Acres gets it. Hand pass to Cowan. Into the middle of the ground. Good kick. It finds Owies, who gets the hand pass away to Ollie Hollins. Through the middle of the ground. Curno's out the back. He kicks out in front of Ian Buckley. Didn't get a kind bounce. And Leakalia races back, offering support. Hand pass to Buckley. Hand pass away to Iden. So the Giants pass a test there without Sam Taylor this afternoon. Iden pulls his kick for Himmelberg. He marks it right half back for GWS.
Didn't Ollie Hollins get a bit of the kick? 60 metres, just running through the centre of the ground in stride. Almost worked out perfectly for Curnow. Cal Ward, the Iron Man for the Giants. Did his AC join in round one? They said, "You're out for 8 weeks, Cal." He'll be like, "No, I'm back in 4. Thanks very much." Giants games record holder. Himmelberg kicks inside the forward 50. Toby Green was up early. No free kick.
Yes.
Now it has been paid. Blues fans thought that was a virtual certainty. Go to Hewitt inside the defensive 50 for the Blues. So scores tied at 3-1. 24 and a half minutes gone in this opening term.
The Blues through Matt Kennedy takes the mark. As Nick Newman works it out to him. Has had the job on Toby Green at times, but it's Zach Williams has had the early opportunity here. Kick there was over the head of Elijah Hollins. Now onto it, Toby Green. Hand pass trying to link up with Tom Green. He tried to shank it forward. Missed it. Blues take it back. Williams to Walsh. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. Fantasia. It's pure magic for the Blues as Cottrell pulls his kick and finds Tom De Koning. He didn't have to get in the air that much and takes the mark a couple of feet off the ground. Directly in front. 35 metres out from goal.
Yeah, you've got to feel sorry for Alir there. He had De Koning covered, but when the Carlton player got in front running inside forward 50, I think it was Cottrell, had to come forward to him, which left his opponent free.
Tom de Koning, the rising ruckman, to put the Blues back in front. Straight through the middle it goes. Carlton lead by 6 points. 4-1-25 to the Giants, 3-1-19. 26 minutes gone, opening term on ABC Sport. You're with Nathan Burke and Kes Peterson.
They got a little bit lucky there, the Blues. They turned it over in a spot that the coaching staff would have all ducked and hoped that they would have been able to win it back on that half-forward line for the Giants. But it was their pressure through the first, second, third effort that won them the ball back, and then they were off to the races. And it's what we expected when we came to the game, I think, was to see the Giants run off their half-back and provide some real excitement and drive. But it was Carlton on that occasion. And once again, Matt Cottrell, just his decision-making is proving to be really elite. He lowered his eyes again and hit his forward for the second time in this quarter.
Charlie Curnow playing a good decoy role at the moment. Hasn't touched the football yet, but de Koning and Mackay doing all the work.
Back in the middle. Pitternet wins it down. Another centre clearance for the Blues. Cripps, forward hand pass to Cottrell on the edge of the 50. Kick ricochets off the leg of Lockie Ash. Falls into the grasp of Hewitt. Handball out to Akers for the Blues. Now they cede some territory. Back to Walsh. Low kick inside the 50 to Durden. Hits him lace out. 40 metres out. He's directly in front. Beautiful delivery from Sam Walsh.
Rightly so, all of his teammates have got over to him. He's up to 7 disposals for the game. He was instrumental last week. 34 disposals, 15 contested possessions. He looks on track for another stellar game.
So Corey Durden kicked 1 goal. Both times against GWS last year. And he's got himself on the board early here. He skips away in celebration. And the Blues skip out to a 2-goal break. 5-1-31 Carlton. The Giants 3-1-19. 27 and a half played in the opening term on ABC Sport. You're with Nathan Burke and Kes Peterson.
Those clearances, Kes, it's still 12-7 in favour of the Blues, and that's where it's all starting from. And Sam Walsh sets himself up around a stoppage really, really well. He's generally on that defensive side. So whoever wins the football, they just feed it back to him. He's facing his goals. And then it was just, normally you'd look up and you'd say, hey, I've got de Koning, Curnow and Mackay down there. But there was a better target. And he found the better target of the small player leading. And that's going to keep the Giants defenders accountable if they're going to use all of their players and just not go to the big three.
5 individual goal kickers for the Blues. We'll put 2 on in quick succession for the biggest lead of the match so far. Walsh gathers the loose footy just between the wing and half forward. Gets the hand pass away to Hewitt. Kicks up to Cottrell. He marks it right half forward. Kicks to the leader to Koning. Can't take the mark. Good spoil made by Himmelberg. It spills to Cripps. He kicks towards the teeth of goal. End over end. Lockie Ash races back. Gets away from Durden. Hand pass away to Buckley. Goes short to Whitfield. He's in the right back pocket for the Giants. Hand pass to Ward. Has to duck the tackle. He got away from Cottrell. Hand pass back to Aish, who kicks along up towards the wing. Cadman marks for the Giants between wing and half forward.
The perpetual motion machine is out and whirring again. Cadman kicks inside forward 50. Callum Brown was there, couldn't take the mark. Almost spilt to Hogan. Has to turn the tackler 30 from home. Toby Green has a go, trying to knock it free. Hogan, underground hand pass, pinched by Wiedering to Boyd. Wide kick, how wide? Well, it was too wide in terms of how it bounced, but at least it bounced before it got over the line. And so some salvation for the Blues inside their defensive 50. But maybe only for a moment, because we'll have a ball in. Right forward pocket, Giants into attack. Carlton lead by 2 goals. 29 minutes played in this opening term. Briggs and Pitternet engage in ruck. Pitternet had to try and soccer it in the end. Williams was in over the top. Daniels had to play it for the Giants. Then Cadman lays a strong tackle, spills away to Lewis Young. Jams a kick on the boot to centre half back. Might work out for the Blues as well. Picked up by Elijah Hollins. He gets dragged down by Ward and caught holding the ball.
Great tackle from Callum Ward in game 297. You mentioned it was suggested he missed sort of 6 to 8 weeks. He missed 3 plus a VFL game. Kicks into the pocket. Thomas the target. Spoiled away from him. Great work by the Blues defence. Durden getting back. Providing the support. Zach Williams had a long time. Surely gone. Bedford had him. Spun him a full 360. Umpire waited a few moments and then paid holding the ball.
Important decision, that one. We're into the last minute with 40 seconds to go. They need this one. They probably deserve to only be a goal down at quarter time. So it's important to kick this one.
So it'd be Bedford pretty much directly in front, 40 metres out from goal. The former Demon, who's been goalless in his last 2 matches. So he just puts the footy on the ground and composes himself. 23-year-old playing in his 44th match. Starts his approach outside 50. Couple of spins of the footy. Comes in for the steadier for the Giants. He's got it. Couple of strides to the right for the goal umpire, but the all clear is given. And after a string of 2 quick goals for Carlton, the Giants answer back to close the gap to 6 points, nudging towards quarter time. 4-1-25, the Giants to the Blues, 5-1-31. They've had 5 lead changes so far in this opening quarter. Earlier it was Collingwood who prevailed by Port Adelaide by 42 points, their 3rd win on the trot. Nathan Burke and Kes Peterson with you on ABC Sport.
It's been a really high-quality first quarter here from both teams as we come almost to the end of the first quarter, but Giants have had 6 tackles inside their forward 50 to Carlton's only 1. So that'll be a little bit of a concern for Carlton in the coaching box. Their forwards need to put more pressure on, but for the Giants it resulted in a goal there. Bedford laid a great tackle on Williams, who was just indecisive at the time, and it's led to a goal.
Pitternet thumps it out in ruck. Gets it moving forward immediately. That time runs out for the Blues before quarter time. So a 9-goal opening term. The Blues had back-to-back bursts where they kicked 2 in a row after trailing early. They go to quarter time with a 1-goal lead. Carlton 5-1-31 to the Giants, 4-1-25. Only single goal kickers so far for the Giants. Bedford had the last. Daniels, Hogan and Riccardi kicked goals in that opening term. And for the Blues, a goal to Corey Durden, 1 to Matt Owies, 1 to Matt Cottrell, 1 to Elijah Hollins, and Tom De Koning also on the scoreboard in a major sense.
The voice of Joel Peterson calling the action alongside Matt Clinch. News coming through from the match review officer from last night. Jordan Dawson has received a $1,000 fine for careless contact with an umpire. Mark Keane tripping Jade Gresham has got a $2,000 fine, and Isaac Rankin for rough conduct on Jai Caldwell, a $2,000 fine as well. Quarter time at Docklands, Saturday twilight footy. It's the Blues who lead by 6 points. Your thoughts on the SMS always welcome. 0437 774 774. Cheerio to Neville Yates, who's listening while streaming down the A6 in France. Go the Blues. So there you go, Berkey, coming through loud and clear in France on the ABC Listen app. Question on earlier, the Sam Draper call. You need to take possession to be holding the ball. Correct call is holding the man. I'm not sure too many people saw it that way. Moose wants to know from Bendigo, loving the call with the ABC team. Anyone playing with their socks up this game? We'll keep an eye on that, Moose. There's no obvious Paddy Dangerfields who are traditional socks up.
Socks up, a very average way to go about things, I would have thought, Moose, just quietly.
Well, they're 3/4 these days with the modern day players. And Mick has been in touch, listening on the mighty 9:54 AM transistor radio in Western Victoria while building a mine haul road near Benald in far southwestern New South Wales.
Balranald, that is.
Oh, I wasn't even close. Okay. This is why I need you, Joel. And it's always good to have you alongside me. Great to have your company. Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport, coming to you on ABC Radio, ABC News Radio, ABC Sport Digital, and now streaming on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the AFL button.
Do you often feel overwhelmed by the daily news cycle? Too many headlines with too little context? Well, join me, Sam Hawley, for ABC News Daily.
You know, there's middlemen involved, and you have to make sure that the farmers are getting a good deal.
A podcast that walks you through one story per episode to help you with a deeper understanding of the issues affecting your world, all delivered in a comprehensive yet easy to digest 15 minutes. So join me for ABC News Daily.
Hear it now on the ABC Listen app. This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
De Koning out of the middle for the Blues. Longer full forward. Mikhail Lear athletically belts it down from over the back. Straight to Cottrell. Sidestep, snap, goal.
Again, it was the clearance out of the middle. That time it was De Koning. Carlton's now leading the clearances 8-4. The Giants aren't helping themselves.
Former Gold Coast son Elijah Collins comes in from 48, hangs it out to the left, it works its way back to the right. The Blues had 2 quick goals in quick succession.
that centre bounce is just a real dilemma there for the Giants. That was another straight out of the middle.
Kemp spoils it down. Toby Green thought he was taken high. No whistle. Gets the half pass to Riccardi on his right, who puts it through.
Back to Walsh. Low kick inside the 50 to Durden. Hits him lace out. And he's got himself on the board early here. He skips away in celebration.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Quarter time from Docklands in Melbourne, Saturday afternoon footy. It's the Blues who lead by 6 points at quarter time over the Giants. It's a super Saturday of footy for round 6 of the AFL. Collingwood 42-point winners over Port Adelaide. As Joel may mention tonight, for most of our audience, it's Geelong and the Brisbane Lions from the Gabba. And Derby number 58 between the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers. If the match you're looking for is not on radio, the ABC Listen app has every game available. Just click on either the AFL or AFL Extra button to find the call. The thoughts of our experts this afternoon, 3-time All-Australian Carlton captain Kes Peterson and Australian Football Hall of Fame member Nathan Burke.
Entertaining game, this one. We've had 9 goals, 2 behind, so very accurate here under the roof. But it's Carlton dominating clearances, getting the ball forward, and being quite dangerous to Coney and Mackay, probably being the 2 most dangerous forwards. Curnow, no touches. Hasn't touched the ball in that first quarter, so playing that decoy role perfectly well. But as long as they kick 5 goals each quarter, he probably won't care at all. Giants look dangerous when they get players out into space and they can run and share because they've got such exquisite skills and they're really smart forwards who lead to the right spots. And I think Callum Brown is probably the most dangerous forward there at the moment. We've seen Jesse Hogan kick 1 goal and give 1 off, but I like the way Callum Brown is working up and down the ground as well. So he's one to watch for if you're a Carlton defender. But at the moment, it's really anyone's game. It's a bit of an arm wrestle, both going either way. I think both teams are close to playing their ideal game style, but I think the Giants would love to get a little bit more players across the half-back line and then take off. They haven't been able to get many players across half-back line because Carlton are actually marking the ball when it goes in there, Kes.
Yeah, they are, Berkey. Just want to touch on the clearances that you mentioned. The Blues have had 3 goals direct from centre clearance or centre bounce, so it's an area that the Giants need to get on top of, really stem the flow there. Cripps has been a huge part of that. He's had 10 disposals and 5 clearances on his own, as well as Walsh. He's had 8 touches and 218 metres game, which is a lot more than the person or the player who's coming in second. So he's been really instrumental. I expect the Giants to do something about that really quickly.
Kes Peterson and Nathan Burke, your experts. Ian Cohen down on the boundary.
Absolutely, Clinchy. You're going to expect a shootout here. Both of these teams are in the mid to high teens for average goals. Adam Kingsley very animated to his defensive structure there. A crowd of 39,000 expected today.
Thanks, Koza. Carlton by 6 points as we head into the second quarter. Pitnet knocks it down to Hewitt. Hand pass to Kennedy. In game 100 to Walsh. Tackle by Tom Green. Forces a turnover. Toby Green gets involved. He bursts away. Gets the hand pass just wide of O'Halloran. He races after it. Can't take it cleanly. Cowan got in low. Was he taken illegally? Umpire waves play on. Hewitt tries to clear it for the Blues. Out to Kennedy at half-back. Hand pass to Walsh through the middle of the ground. Durden, great reflexes catch. In the middle of the ground. Kicks up towards Charlie Curnow, who marks on his chest 50 from home. No one's in the goal square, so he goes for it, and it's offline to the right. A minor score. His first touch of the match. 52 consecutive games to kick the goal in, Charlie Curnow. So there's a scalp for those that can keep him goalless. Carlton by 7.
Kick into Whitfield for the Giants. Finds the chest of Bedford in front of the interchange gates. Cowan was rushing in. Bedford was able to clutch it before he got there. Right foot kick to half forward for the Giants. Hogan over the top, got a hand to it, couldn't take the mark. Riccardi in the wrestle behind the play. It's spilled on by Green, who tries to curl it home. Toby Green. Kemp was back there, got a hand on it. It was probably missing left anyhow. And immediately behind to the Giants. Makes that a 6-point game. Let's go downstairs to Koza.
Yeah, Joel, just keep an eye on Zach Williams. He's really hobbling on that right ankle at a half-back for the Blues.
Strange decision there by Toby Green to snap that one around the corner. He could have straightened up and almost had a shot with a drop punt.
Nick Newman brings the Blues back into play. Kicks towards Charlie Curnow. Can't take the mark. Buckley spoils it down. Ash kicks it inside 50. Riccardi almost taken high as he knocks it down. Walsh working hard in defence for the Blues. Gets it to Kemp. A clearing kick. Hoping for the defenders to work up the ground. But it's Finn Callaghan who gathers. Hand pass to Whitfield. Kicks out wide. And the mark is taken at left half forward by Ware. He wants to go short into the pocket where Hogan's on the lead, and he marks just inside the boundary. Where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary. This will be a tough kick for Jesse Hogan.
It's a great lead by Jesse Hogan. There's another one.
He's wanting to give it off to Toby Green, who gathers it on the bounce against the boundary. Hand passes through the legs of Zach Williams, who then gets him. Lays the tackle. It's knocked out of play. Umpire says throw it in.
I love the old-fashioned lead by Jesse Hogan. He started in the square, led straight at the kicker. And if the kick is good enough, there is absolutely no way the fullback of the century could not spoil the ball away when a full forward is leading straight at the kicker.
Cheeky little nutmeg there from Toby Green. It was a very nice bit of work. Imagine Zach Williams was too pleased with it at the stoppage. Tom Green, around the body from Daniels, up and under. Kennedy getting upstairs. He had competition in the air from Toby Green. And the 100-gamer, he's able to pull it in. Like 19 of them in Giants colours did Matt Kennedy. Now the Blues come across the defensive 50. They work it nicely to Wiedering. Wiedering's long kick down the line. Slapped away by Perryman. He battles and tries to force the football loose. Back into Giants' hands through O'Halloran at half-back. His handball short to Green, to Ash, infield to Perryman. Cuts the kick diagonally through the centre circles. Lovely find. They continue to move it forward here with pace.
Gets the hand pass away. Whitfield to Finn Callaghan. Long looking for Toby Green. Up goes Williams. Timed his leap superb. Gets a fist to it and spoils it out of play. He gets plenty of encouragement from his fellow defenders as well. It's a dangerous matchup for Zach Williams alongside one of the game's best small forwards. A boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. Carlton by 6 points in the opening 4 minutes of the second quarter. And 5 lead changes in the opening term. The throw-in clears both ruckmen. A chance for Sam Walsh, tackled by Tom Green. Spills the way of Ollie Hollands. Kicks end over end towards the boundary line. Lois will get there just before to take away the deliberate insufficient intent possibility, and a boundary throw-in at left half forward for the Giants.
Nick Newman really sore after that contest there. I'm assuming it's his right leg that he's stretching out, but one to certainly keep an eye on.
So grabbed in the knee region as he tried to pick himself up. Briggs and Pitternet just went into wrestle mode. Briggs put the head down, drove it through Pitternet, and the Carlton ruck's going to get the free kick.
He's got his socks up in case Moose from Bendigo is still playing along.
Yeah, there you go, Moose. 0437 774 774.
We should have picked a ruckman, shouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. It was paying $1.01 to be a ruckman out there with the socks up this afternoon. Here's Kemp. Bendigo Pioneers product out of the mighty Echuca Murray Bombers. The best team in country footy. Kicks down the line. Finds Hewitt. A low kick along the boundary line. Hewitt 75 metres from home at right half forward. Tees it up inside the forward 50 to Curnow, who made the space on Buckley and got the hands out in front of his face. Charlie's pulled it in 40 metres out. He's on a better than 45-degree angle to the right of centre.
Inexperience there by Buckley as a defender. Good defenders can see the ball and their player. He took his eye off the ball and looked straight at his player, which enabled Curnow to nick around the front of him and take an uncontested mark.
Hasn't been required too much as yet, has Charlie. And he misses that out to the right, makes it a 7-point game. Let's go down to Koza.
As Kez identified, Nick Newman's got issues with that knee. He's just being attended to. Took himself off the ground. Obviously, the staff are working on him now.
Thanks, Koza. A couple of behinds for Charlie Curnow, the back-to-back Coleman medalist. Lockie Whitfield brings the Giants back into play. A beautiful kick for Riccardi, who edged his way to the front to take the mark. Now right half back for the Giants. Carlton 5-3-33 to the Giants 4-2-26. Saturday afternoon footy coming to you on ABC Sport. Jack Riccardi up towards Briggs. From behind, Brown tried to crash his way through. It's Williams, though, for the Carlton side. Quick 1-2 with Hewitt. Gets it away to Cowan. Composure through the middle of the ground. He finds Captain Cripps, who's away. Bursts away from Tom Green. He drives it in the direction of Curnow. And Mackay, who's there. Harry got up, had a good piece of it, not paid the mark. Play on's the call. The defence is desperate for the Giants. It spills the way of Ali Kalia in his 5th game. Great composure. Hand pass to the running Kelly. He looks out to the wing, needs an option. He kicks to Toby Green. What a pass.
Toby Green's all alone. He's got Hogan in space inside the forward 50. Kick goes that direction. Hogan's got Daniels and Cadman options to choose on from 45 from home. He goes back behind the mark in the end. They opened the field up there, the Giants. And Jesse Hogan will have to kick from right on the 50.
Yeah, well done by the Blues. They flooded back in numbers. There were some half options there, but in the end, I think it was the right decision to go back and have a shot.
The two leading combatants into Coleman at either end in Curnow and Hogan. When Charlie misses at the other end, Jesse Hogan steps up to the plate and drives a home run. Hogan's got a pair in the early going and pulls it back to a 1-point ball game. 5-2-32 the Giants. The Blues 5-3-33. 7.5 gone second term on ABC Sport. You're with Nathan Burke and Karen Peterson.
You love to see that from your forward who really does back themselves in. I mean, he's leading the Coleman for a reason, Jesse Hogan. He's had a terrific start to the year, but as you rightly pointed out, Berkey, there was a couple of half options. Lewis Young did a great job. He was the Blues' last defender, and he played two. He played in between two of the options that were outnumbering for the Giants forward. And Jesse Hogan, rather than pulling the trigger and trying to hit one, he's taken the responsibility, gone back and said, no, boys, I can kick this and give our team, within 1 point. So I like to see that from a full forward rather than take an option that is a pretty risky one, take the responsibility and go back, kick the goal.
The voice of Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport. In the middle of the ground, it's Elijah Hollins who gets the clearance. He kicks Carlton into attack. Mackay and Cottrell are there. Mackay works his way to the front. It's Curnow who's the crummer and he misses again. Had more time and space than he realised. He just couldn't quite steer it through the major opening. And 3 behinds for Charlie Curnow this afternoon. The Blues leading by 2 points. 9 minutes gone, second quarter.
He's done all their scoring in this second term. As Charlie Curnow.
Definitely had more time there and just panicked, threw it on the left boot.
Measuring the kick in was Himmelberg precisely to find Iden just inside the boundary at right half back. 55 from the Giants' defensive goal. The fluoro orange boots on this afternoon for the ever-improving defender. Goes back to Lockie Ash, who's got plenty of toe. Spreads it wide for Buckley. Kick had a bit too much juice on it. Buckley kept it in. He gallops down that City side wing. Blasted toward half forward for the Giants. Williams in from the side. Young was there. Had it. Lost it. They dive upon him. Williams tries to wrench it free for Carlton. It's not coming loose, and Matt Nichols scoots in and says, I will have it. Left half forward. Blues by 2 points. 9.5 gone in the second term.
Thrown up in the air to Koning and Briggs. Briggs tries to take another rock. He almost bursts away. Brought down by Koning at the last moment. It spills out and across in front of Daniels and goes out of play. Ian Cohen on the boundary.
Yeah, it looks like crisis averted for Nick Newman. He's been warming up with that knee and he's now just sitting without medical attention, so I'd expect him back on shortly.
Thanks, Koza. Jay and Nat are on the SMS line. Berkeley enjoying the call while enjoying a thermal spa in Albania. So the ABC Listen App working loud and clear there as well. Briggs gets the hand pass to the Giants to Ward. Kicks inside 50. Hogan's arms outstretched. Can't hang on to the mark. Blake Acres tackled. Lost it. A chance for Thomas to the Giants. Beautiful hand pass to Ware. Over the top to Daniels. Hand pass to Kelly. He's a classy finisher. He scams it onto his left and puts it through and the Giants are in front. We saw him with a beautiful left foot kick across half back a few moments ago. Josh Kelly. This time he's finishing in front of goal himself. And the Giants take back the lead by 4 points. 6-2-38 to Carlton 5-4-34. 11 minutes gone, second quarter on ABC Sport.
We talk about the Giants' foot skills a great deal, and they are very, very good. But one of the underrated skills, I think they're probably the best in the league by a long way, are their handball skills. That was 3 or 4 handballs in a row, all of them sort of 10, 15 metres, to a running player who didn't have to break stride, eventually get it into the hands of a left footer running onto his left boot, 30 metres out for goal. That's always going through the middle. I watch some other teams and just really lament at the poor handball skills and the ability to hit a running player by hand, but the Giants are outstanding at it.
Last 3 of the game for the Giants to take a 4-point lead after they trailed the Blues by 2 goals late in that opening term. Out of the middle, Hewitt blasts it forward for Carlton. Himmelberg bashes it back the other way. Straight to Tom Green. He's shoved off it. Hewitt goes back in, runs into Ward. Two hard nuts colliding. Picked up by Elijah Hollands. Kicks an absolute sack of the thing inside the forward 50. Oh, Buckley took it. Wasn't called to play on. Harry Mackay ran him down and gave away 50. And that'll send the Blues fans into a bit of a tiz. Jack Buckley walks it into the centre of the ground for the Giants.
And Cohen on the boundary.
Brent Daniels down into the rooms. Looks like a leg issue at the moment. Physio's going down with him.
Buckley to Perryman on the wing. He kicks out too wide for Jesse Hogan. You can hear the Bronx cheers. Out of bounds on the full. And Zach Williams will take the free kick in the left back pocket for the Carlton side. GWS 6-2-38. Carlton 5-4-34. 6 lead changes so far throughout this match. The Blues have it inside their defensive 50. Williams is going to go back to Wiedering. Toby Green offers the chase. He marks just in front of him and then switches it to the opposite back pocket where Brody Kemp takes the mark. Thought about coming inboard to Youngie. Now we'll continue around to the outer side. Akers is caught behind. Turns it over. Ware for the Giants. Looks up to Bedford. He marks just outside 50. Looks up. One-on-one's inside. Riccardi offers a short lead. He pokes a kick that hangs in the air a while, but Riccardi rises and takes the mark over the top of the smaller Boyd. And some good composure in the end from the Giants entering 50 to find the right option. And Jake Riccardi will go back and shoot for his second.
Smart play there by the Giants. All of the Carlton defenders were waiting for the plays in the goal square to lead at the kicker, but it was Riccardi coming from outside 50 at centre half forward, dropping into a hole. Caught the Carlton defenders napping.
Jake Riccardi with 8 goals for the season so far comes in for 4 on the bounce for the Giants. He sends it straight through the middle. Riccardi with his second. And the Giants out to their biggest lead of the match. They lead by 10 points. 7-44 to Carlton 5-4-34. 3 unanswered goals so far in this second quarter.
Something they've done really well today, the Giants, is their inside 50 kicks. And we often talk a lot about teams that aren't doing well with their inside forward kicks. The money kick, that last kick that goes inside forward 50, if you're just banging it long to a contest all the time, often it plays into the defensive team's hands. I can't remember in the first half the Giants kicking long to a contest and just hoping that their forwards are marking it. They're doing a great job lowering their eyes. As you said, Berkey, Carlton defenders seem to be checked after the turnover, but it was the midfielders that didn't push back after the turnover occurred on the far side to fill up the space and mark the Giants midfielders coming in.
Carlton AFLW captain Kieran Peterson alongside Australian Football Hall of Famer Nathan Burke, your experts on ABC Sport. Cripps with another clearance, but flicked it straight up to Josh Kelly. Pumps the Giants inside the forward 50. Cadman's up to meet it. Got the handball to Toby Green, to Bedford. Swivels and snaps. High footy to the goal mouth. He's got it. Toby Bedford just sneaks it in. Despite the appeals of Nick Newman on the line, he's got his second. And the Giants have got 5 in a row, and they lead by 16 points. 8-2-50 to the Blues, 5-4-34. We're only halfway gone in this second term, and the Orange Tsunami is leaving the Blues for dead.
I don't want to overplay the handball skills again, but it was a handball by Cripps that went astray in the middle of the ground, which enabled the Giants to get the ball forward. And just 2 really sharp handballs under pressure, get the ball out to Bedford, and it was a lovely right foot snap around the corner. But they're just so clean with their skills, and they only need half a chance and they'll hurt you badly.
Nathan Burke with you on ABC Sport. Earlier today, Collingwood 42-point winners over Port Adelaide. Curata Grant in Hobart enjoying the Blues call, and Sam from Euroa says, I'm a big fan of the socks up as well. Here's Mark Pitnet on cue. Does the clearance work himself. Kicks towards Mackay. Can't take the mark. Streaming onto it. A shot on goal from Elijah Hewitt. And Elijah Hollands misses to the left-hand side. And they've left a few out there, the Blues, in this second quarter. 4 behinds. So GWS is 4-1. The Giants by 15 points.
Milberg brings it quickly into play. Perryman, long kick up toward the interchange. Riccardi got in front of Brown. They spoiled each other in the end. Spilled to Pitnet for the Blues. Handball to Cripps. He was on hands and knees. Got it somehow to Kemp, to Akers. Up and down the mine shaft to half forward for Carlton. Great mark from Perryman, who clutches it to his chest just inside the defensive 50. Looks for the short and finds it in Callaghan. Giants by 15 points. 16 and a half gone second term. Joel Peterson and Matt Clinch calling it for you. Kieran Peterson, Nathan Burke, and this man is boundary side, Ian Cohen.
Yeah, genuine concern over Daniels at the moment. The doctor and the physio have both been up and down. They grabbed the full kit. He might come out with it strapped, but they're persisting with him. Peatling hasn't warmed up yet.
And this goes out Callaghan into the middle of the ground. Xavier O'Halloran pushes back behind his mark, looks for options inside 50. Jesse Hogan's the target, sends it in that direction, nudged out of it Cadman. It spills to the back. Thomas tries to throw a boot at it, trying to knock it out Nick Newman. The Giants are lining up. Cadman swings onto his left, and it's another one for GWS. 5 goals in this second quarter, the last 6 goals of the match. And they are running rampant under the roof of Docklands. A 21-point advantage, 9-2-56 to Carlton 5-5-35. And the second-year Giant, Aaron Cadman, is on the board.
Oh, Kez, it's the defence of the Blues has just really fallen apart. There was 3 Carlton players standing around watching the ball bumbling around on the top of the goal square, but it was a Giants player who actually got in there, made it work, hit the ball out. Again, another very, very quick handball out and a goal.
The mistake that the Carlton defenders made was all going goal side, running to the back where they thought the ball was, but the ball spilled to the front of the contest, and the Giants were lining up. Cadman was leading the race, but yeah, really poor. Carlton did a good job up the ground stopping the transition, but once it got in there, they were really poor.
So that margin, 21 points for the Giants. Back to the middle, and Cripps arches the back and runs away from them for the Blues. Sends it inside the forward 50. Leclerc with the spoil. Spilled straight to Kennedy. Got the handball away. Curnow was there. Pounced on it. Snapped and missed. 4 behinds in the game and in the quarter for Charlie Curnow. The Blues have only managed 5 minor scores so far in this second term, and the margin is back to 20 the way of the Giants.
Cripps was coming streaming out of the middle, not under pressure, and nobody led. They all stood there and pointed.
Ash to Himmelberg, up to Cal Brown, who rises on the back of Kemp. And the Irishman takes the mark at right half back. Everything's looking rosy for the Giants at the moment as he kicks it up towards Riccardi, who leaves it for Toby Green. He takes the mark. The block was put on Wiedering. Options in the pocket. Pokes the kick forward, and Cadman takes the mark hard against the boundary.
So the Blues have made the call. They've thrown Curnow behind the ball. He was the last defender that was there, but he was just too slow to go and check up on Cadman, who was coming streaming in. Again, he was playing for the ball that was going to go deep, and it never came.
And Lewis Young came up into the contest and didn't affect the contest, and it was just too slow getting back.
Pick 1 in 2022, Aaron Cadman. The Giants were patient with him last year. The kick is across the face of goal. And in the end, it's off hands of Nick Newman and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Up against the left behind post, a throw-in with the Giants deep in attack. They're 9-2-56 to the Blues, 5-6-36. 20 minutes gone, second quarter on ABC Sport.
Ball to be tossed back in. The big rig of Kieran Briggs in ruck, straight down to O'Halloran. It's taken by Ollie Hollands for the Blues. Handball off to Kennedy. Kicks a horrible looking ball out toward the interchange. Chasing it is Ware. He's dragged across the line by Akers, who had significant territory to make up and did it with some pace and power. That was great running from Blake Akers to force the stoppage and send Ware thumping into the Giants bench. Briggs from the restart. Hands it forward to Daniels. Got the kick. Good to see him back out on the ground. Spills to Ward at half forward. He's dumped into the turf by Cripps, holding the ball. Free kick to the Blues. Now it's in the hands of Newman. Akers, frenetic stuff at half back for Carlton. Measures the kick to Kennedy. Couldn't take the mark. Mops it up. Handball off to Kemp. He's under pressure. His kick forward is gobbled up by Himmelberg, who intercepts in line with the back edge of the square for the Giants.
Yeah, poor kick. That was to a 3-on-1. Harry Mackay had absolutely no chance.
They switch it through Himmelberg to Ash, who marks at left half back. The Giants by 20 points. Carlton, having led by 6 points at quarter time, goes short to Buckley. He looks for an avenue out of defence, kicks up towards the broadcast side on the interchange side. Connor Iden takes the mark, turns and comes inboard on the 45 degrees, spines Lockie Whitfield, who works it to O'Halloran. They've done this so well, the Giants. Hand pass to Ash, who has to break the tackle of Horatio Fantasia. Does so, kicks over the head of Bedford. Charging out Newman for the Blues. Hand pass missed Williams. Onto it Daniels, dodging and weaving. Swings back onto his right. Kicks towards the teeth of goal. A lunging effort by Young. The footy stuck underneath him and Toby Green, and the umpire will board up 25 metres out from the Giants' goal.
So this pressure is coming in waves at the moment from the Giants. Can Carlton's defence withstand it? Pitternet reaches up. Newman's there. Handball straight to Daniels. He got it to Toby Green, who spins and snaps and misfires away to the right. Minor score for the Giants skipper. That lead back out to 21. 9-3-57 to 5-6-36. Giants with 5 goals here in this turn. The Blues with just 5 behinds.
Boyd is ready to bring Carlton back into play. Kicks up towards Pitnet and Mackay. Mackay with hands to it. Lear reaches over the back and makes the spoil, and it goes out in front of Ware and Patrick Cripps for a boundary throw in. On the SMS, 0437 774 774. Mitchell Berkey, you're coming through loud and clear in Albania. Also in Japan as well, where Blues fan Wayne is listening in from Perth, who's in holidays in Japan. Hewitt trying to break away from this stoppage. Gets it to Kennedy, to Cripps, tackled by Ware, got a hand pass away to Hewitt though. Gets the hand pass away to Nick Newman, bumped as he got to kick up the wing. Cottrell tries to put the bump on Ash. Ash gets it for the Giants though, hand pass to Whitfield, kicks inside 50, charging out. Mark wasn't taken by Cadman. It pinballs off a few hands. Weeder is kick smothered, it spills straight to Toby Green. He kicks end over end towards the goal mouth. It wheels towards goal and eventually Young decides to rush it through. It didn't roll end over end. It was like a barrel side over side as it eventually went through for a minor score. Giants made 22 points.
Hasn't been very efficient today with his feet, Toby Green. He's had 2 or 3 chances. It was a tough one, but a player of his calibre, you'd probably expect him to do better.
Williams drives it out of defence for the Blues. Up toward Mackay. Towering mark. Coming in over the top of Lear, who certainly had a better second term than the firestorm he was exposed to early in the game. Entries early and often for the Blues, but the Giants have well and truly taken control. They lead by 22. Mackay's kick long up the line. Buckley shoves Pitternet through the contest. Free kick to the Blues, big man. He'll get it 75 from home. In fact, it's going to Briggs.
Oh, no.
Wow. Mark Pitternet cannot believe it.
I can't either.
Standing there thinking, I got the biggest shove of all time, and somehow I've given away a free kick. Briggs' kick up toward half forward. Cowan had hands to it for the Blues. Taken by Callaghan. Handball low down, picked up by Whitfield. Drives the Giants into attack. Toby Green the target. And Charlie Curnow takes the telling defensive mark, filling that hole in defence for the Blues, who trail by 22, 24 gone in the second.
Well, this is a big win for the Giants if you've got Charlie Curnow playing in the back line and Mackay taking marks up on the half-back line.
Let's look 4 behind so far this afternoon. Charlie Curnow as Cottrell, hand pass to Fantasia with speed, trying to get past Whitfield. Gets the hand pass away to Hewitt. 1-2 with Newman, back to George Hewitt, centre wing. Kicks up towards Kennedy at half 40, rises and almost takes the mark in his 100th game. Can't hang on to it. Ward brushes off the tackle of De Koning, kicks a rather fortunate kick into the middle of the ground. It hits Briggs. They're having this sort of quarter, the Giants. Whitfield's hand pass missed Tom Green, pinched by the Blues. Kemp received it from Hewitt, looks for options inside 50, kicks for Ollie Hollands. He takes the mark. Back with the flight against O'Halloran. And Carlton had to work hard to get a shot on goal. And having broken the Giants' record of leading at every break so far this season, the Blues now looking for their first goal of the quarter at the 25-minute mark.
They turn the ball over in the middle of the ground and then shoot forward. It's the modern game of football these days. If you can win the ball there and go back quickly, you'll score most times.
3 goals throughout his AFL career. Ollie Hollands, 1 so far this season. He's out to the right, kicking from about 40 metres out. The Blues desperately need it. Hollands comes in and delivers them just what they needed. Carlton with 1 against the trend. With the Giants having slammed on the last 6 goals before that. 5 goals to 1 so far in this second quarter in the Giants league. Cut back to 16 points. 9-4-58 to the Blues, 6-6-42. 26 minutes gone, second quarter on ABC Sport. You're with Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson.
He's proving to be a really reliable kick in front of goal, Ollie Hollands, and it's an interesting point that you raise, I think, in the first quarter, Burkey, just around the defensive units of both teams and what you've seen this week already with defenders chasing kicks, for a lack of a better phrase. Kemp was the one who affected that kick inside forward 50. Might pick it up at half-time, just around what the priorities of the defenders are, because both of these teams want to play off the half-back line and, as you said, slingshot forward and create the offence, but it might come at the lack of some defensive pressure at times.
First goal for the Blues in a quarter of footy. Their last coming at the 27-minute mark of the first term through Corey Durden. Back in the middle to Koning, wins it down. The clearance is a really nice one from Hewitt. Finds Kennedy hitting up at half forward. He wheels and kicks inside the forward 50. Curnow doubled back at the 40-30 from home. Rope play to Koning. The big man getting down low and snapping a goal. Tom de Koning. He was king of the pack there. It was brought down to him. He snapped on the right boot. Carlton with 2 in a minute after they couldn't kick one for the first 26 of this second term. And it's back to a 10-point ball game. 9-4-58 to the Giants, 7-6-48 the Blues, 2 for de Koning, 27.5 gone second term.
Yeah, huge worry for the Giants here with Harry Himmelberg. Came across and affected a big spoil there, but landed slightly awkward. He looked like he might have hyperextended a bit of a knee and sort of catapulted himself forward. He's up trying to move around, and let's hope that it's just a bit of a stinger on his knee and he can keep going, because they certainly need his presence down there.
And Cohen on the boundary.
Yeah, just watching Himmelberg. He's working with the doctor at the moment. Curnow, though, was pleading with Michael Voss to say, please put me forward again. Please put me forward again.
De Koning, one down the tap, got it to Cripps, back to De Koning, who follows up with a great smother on the Briggs kick. It spills to Cripps, gets the hand pass away to Hewitt, kicks inside 50, Mackay's there, can't take the mark. Charging through Cottrell, couldn't take it cleanly. Ware's tackled, Cottrell good follow-up, no whistle. It's gathered by Tom Green, a clearing kick up to the wing. Bounces in front of Wiedering and Hogan. Wiedering got a touch to it, but Hogan gathers the footy. Hand pass to Bedford for the Giants. Kicks inside 50. Riccardi with a clever tap. Not so clever the volley, as he puts it 3 rows back in the front row here at Docklands. And you can hear the Bronx cheer out of bounds on the full. Free kick going for the Blues in the back pocket. Giants by 10 points. It's gone up a notch or two.
Not quite sure what he was trying to do. Then all he had to do was just help it on its way out, and it would have been a throw inside their forward 50, but throwing a boot at it's just created a turnover, and Carlton are on the march.
His ambition and his capability wildly confused there to Jake Riccardi. Long kick down the line, finds Harry Mackay again. He's still behind the wing, but at least they've got a bit to kick to ahead of the footy. And they've kicked a couple in a row here, Carlton, to narrow the gap to 10 points. And still just under a couple of minutes remaining in this second term. Mackay goes looking for Curnow, got a hand to it, couldn't bring it down to himself, spilt to Kennedy at left half forward, now to Akers, pokes it into the pocket, into the waiting arms of Cottrell. And Matt Cottrell has marked 40 metres out, 45-degree angle left of centre, and he can make it a 4-point ball game.
Well done by Cottrell. He saw the ball spill to the ground after the marking contest, realised that he couldn't affect that contest, so just kept drifting back into a hole, and Blake Akers, we know, is a smart player with the ball in his hand and found him over the top. So really good forward play by Cottrell today. He's had some great front and centres, and that was a great dropping into a hole.
Can he finish off his work here? Kick leaks out to the right. Big pack on the behind line, and it's rushed through for a minor score. 9 points the margin. Carlton 7-7, Giants 9-4. Just over half an hour gone in this second term on ABC Sport.
Whitfield's looking straight down the middle. He missed Briggs. Opens the door for the turnover. Gathered by Newman. Half pass to Curnow. He missed the intended target, and it's gathered by Finn Callaghan, who gets the hand pass away to Whitfield. Giants out of defence. Ash kicks up to Ware. He marks it right half back for the Giants. GWS 9-4-58, leading the Blues 7-7-49. They've got out by as much as 22 points, the Giants, in this second quarter. Up towards Bedford, and Jacob Wiedering in from the side. Got a fist to it to spoil out a play. And just landed awkwardly now, grabbing at his right knee as he hobbles just in front of you, Ian Cohen.
Absolutely, Clinchy. He's really in a lot of pain, and he was very quick to get off the ground. The physio and doctor attending to him now.
That's why I never jumped off the ground. Yes, jump off the ground, you land, you hurt yourself.
Plenty of bodies falling in this first half. Green and Cripps collide from the throw-in. Cripps got the handball away to Newman. Spikes the kick up toward half forward. Belted back the other way. Callaghan running onto it for the Giants. Spilled into the centre of the ground. Tom Green, free kick, paid by the out-of-zone umpire. And it'll go to Bedford, who's defensive side of centre here for the Giants. He can launch another attack. Time winding down in this second term, and it expires on the G-men, who kicked 6 on the bounce either side of quarter time, including the first 5 goals in that term. Charlie Curnow kicked 4 behinds before the Blues got their first goal of the quarter, that coming through the agency of Ollie Hollands. They kicked the last 3, did Carlton. Another to Tom de Koning with a nice snap. And in the end, the Blues able to close the gap somewhat. In fact, the last 2 goals of that term going the way of Carlton. And at half-time, it is a 9-point margin the way of the Giants. 9-4-58 to Carlton 7-7-49. Of course, no Sam Taylor out there for the Giants today, but Charlie Curnow is goalless at the half with those 4 behinds to his score sheet for the afternoon. 2 goals to Tom de Koning for the Blues, 1 to Ollie Hollands, 1 to Corey Durden, 1 to Elijah Hollands, 1 to Owies and 1 to Cottrell. For the Giants, a pair to Bedford, so too to Hogan and Riccardi, singles to Josh Kelly, Brent Daniels and Aaron Cadman.
Charlie Curnow has kicked a goal in his last 52 consecutive games, Joel, so I'm just putting you on notice. Round 1 2022 was the last time he was held goalless. It would be incredible if the Giants could do so without Sam Taylor, but he has kicked 4 behinds so far in the match.
Does it count if he kicks 6 behinds?
No, I think it's...
We're not counting that?
No, that don't count. The Giants had 5 goals to 2 in that second quarter after the Blues led by 6 points, the Giants by 9 points. The thoughts of Kes Peterson and Nathan Burke with you on ABC Sport.
Really entertaining, Berkey. What a great half of footy. The pressure, absolutely, the dial got turned up halfway through that quarter. It got a bit scrappy. It wasn't the clean possession that we were seeing, particularly through the first quarter and the first half of that second quarter. We called out the Carlton defenders when the Giants had kicked, I think, their 6th in a row, and just said that they looked all at sea. They were going to the wrong position. They couldn't quite get on top. And then Nick Newman stepped up and really steadied the ship. He had 10 disposals in that second quarter. And what we were seeing was him coming off the back, particularly in the centre clearances. He was coming off the back of the square and coming through. I think he had 6 handball receives, if I look at that right. And he was really impressive. He really steadied the ship. Lockie Cowan also had a bit of an influence on that as well. But really entertaining. The Giants' pressures is that's what's got them ahead in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games, I think, which team, if you take your foot off the pedal for a 5-minute period, the other team can score quickly, which is what we saw certainly in that quarter. The good news for the Blues, even though they were sort of 20 points down and the Giants kicked 6 in a row, they had 5 shots, and the 5 shots that they had were quite easy ones. They just missed them. It wasn't as if they weren't creating shots when the ball went forward and weren't creating good shots. They just missed them. So it was always a case of just get a little bit more accurate and you'll get yourself back into the game, and that's what they did towards the second part of that second quarter. So well done by the Blues to just keep plugging away and not drop their heads when they did have 6 kicked against them. But it sort of goes to show when the Giants can get that run and overlap handball, they're very, very tough to stop. So if I'm Michael Voss, I'm saying, hey guys, our work when we haven't got the football is even probably more important than what we do when we've got the football, because we need to turn it over through the middle. They give us an opportunity. They will handball the ball to try and get someone free. So cover off the receivers. Really a lot of pressure on the guy with the footy. We can turn it over. We can score heavily going the other way because we've got the forwards that can do it. And if Himmelberg is slightly hindered at all coming out in the second half with that little bit of a sore knee, well then we need to take advantage of that. Leakley is doing a really good job, but when he can get a run up and use his athleticism to spoil the ball, He's fantastic. He needs to add another string to his bow now of actually using his body to keep Mackay out, because when he mistimes that run and jump, Mackay had actually taken a few marks. He took a few up around the wing. If he can do that in the forward line, well, then he might be able to score a little bit heavily. So I think they're just sort of riding their luck a little bit down there, the Giants defenders. But really, it's a cracking game at the moment. I said it was really accurate kicking in the first 9 goals, 2 between the teams, but the Blues mucked that one up with 5 straight. I think Curnow kicked 4. If he certainly gave himself a rocket, I reckon, at quarter time and jumped back into the second quarter really, really well. But it's anyone's game at the moment. It's a fascinating game to watch and a really exciting, fast-moving game of football.
The thoughts of Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson as we've got our head in the Champion Data laptop, just trying to work out all the stats to the main break. The Giants leading by 9 points. Earlier today it was Collingwood who won their third game on the trot. After the bye, of course, 42-point winners over Port Adelaide, 17-21, 123 to the Power, 12-9, 81.
Can I give you one before we go to the break? Of course, we love your contributions, 0437 774 774. The Giants banner today, they've become the trolls of the AFL in a really great way on social media. Their banners today for play Carlton reads, "You used to be good, or so we're told. We're not quite sure. We're only 13 years old," which I was really here for. That's great stuff from GWS. You can see that on the ABC Sports socials. So a very crisp bit of work pre-game when the barbs began from the Giants.
They got stuck into the Saints last week too. Theirs was, "We don't mind the Saints, friendly Ross and his crew. Chances are we'll win an AFL flag before you."
Yes, I think they featured on the ABC Sports socials back-to-back. So a tip of the cap to the Giants social media team. They've got us chuckling here at Docklands. The Giants leading by 9 points at the main break. We'll hear from Bobby Hill on the other side. And let's get the latest from the ABC newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Iranian officials are downplaying the impact of a suspected Israeli attack on the country, raising hopes that tensions between the two nations can be eased. The BBC's Jeremy Bowen has more.
If Israel has no more attacks planned, it looks as if both sides have decided to move back from the brink of what might have been an all-out war in the Middle East. That was the fear of President Biden and other Western allies of Israel. China, a key buyer of Iranian oil, didn't want an escalation either. The Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, also an ally of Iran, says he's told the Israelis that Iran is not planning to retaliate for the attack on Isfahan. None of this means that the long-term crisis between Israel and Iran is fixed. It just means that both sides have looked at the potential hazards ahead and decided it was time to stop.
Waverley Mayor Paula Marcellos says a permanent memorial commemorating the victims of last Saturday's stabbing rampage at Westfield Bondi Junction could take many months, if not years, to establish. Council has agreed to work with New South Wales Premier Chris Minns, who promised to design and fund a permanent memorial just days after the attack. The number of flowers and condolence letters continues to grow outside the shopping centre, with a community vigil to be held tomorrow at Bondi Beach. Mayor Paula Marcellos says that a marquee has been set up to protect the display.
There are extraordinary messages that people are now leaving, poems, cards, handwritten notes of messages of support. It's really moving, and every time I'm there, I still get emotional.
Pharmacists will now be paid by the federal government to visit aged care facilities to give older Australians the flu vaccine. Many residents have previously found it difficult to get to their local GP and have not received the yearly jab. Health Minister Mark Butler says in an attempt to make the process easier and to increase the uptake, the government is now funding pharmacists to provide free flu vaccines at aged care facilities.
Facilities have been calling out to their local pharmacy at a time when it is difficult to get access to a local GP. They're calling out to their pharmacy, can you come and deliver the flu vaccination to the aged care residents you know so well? And up until now, they haven't been able to be paid to do that.
The US Department of Agriculture says cow-to-cow transmission is a factor in the spread of bird flu in dairy herds, but it still does not know exactly how the virus moves. Dairy herds in 8 US states have tested positive to the virus over the past month, as well as one dairy worker in Texas. Farmers and veterinarians are still waiting for confirmation on how the virus is transmitted in order to help try and control its spread. 4 people have been taken to hospital following a 2-vehicle crash west of Brisbane. Paramedics were called to the scene on Carabin Rosewood Road in Thaguna just after 1:30 this afternoon. 2 adults and a child have been taken to hospital in a serious condition. A 4th person is in a stable condition. The University of Tasmania is encouraging more people to engage with music by shining a light on its wide range of physical and mental benefits. Meg Whitfield takes up the story.
The university recently held an event to showcase the wide-ranging benefits of engaging with music, from its ability to improve mood and connection to the physical effects the body experiences. Guest speaker and University Associate Professor Anne-Marie Forbes, who teaches a Diploma of Creative Arts and Health, says music can be transformative.
It really should be a public health priority that we enable access to music.
She says she wants to see greater investment in music programs and events, including in school curriculums.
WA's Education Minister says the state government is continuing to negotiate with the Teachers Union in good faith in order to try and secure a mutually agreeable pay offer. Members of the state's School Teachers Union have planned a half-day strike on Tuesday following a second failed pay agreement. 22 schools are expected to fully close, with 61 schools partially affected. Tony Butty says he's disappointed that the closure will affect 10 education support schools.
We made another last-ditch plea with the union yesterday to see if we could ensure that those schools remain open. These are our most vulnerable kids, so I plea again with the union to do what they can with the Education Department to ensure those schools remain open.
And staying in the West, where the West Coast Eagles and Fremantle are due to face off in the Western Derby at Optus Stadium tonight in the AFL. The Eagles are coming off their first victory of the season, while the Dockers have lost their last 2 games by less than a kick. ABC News.
The May issue of Gardening Australia is filled with growing goodness. Feast your eyes on gorgeous new release roses. Read about growing proteas and Japanese zelkova. And take a fresh look at chrysanthemums. Visit an artist's garden, give your indoor plants a health check, learn how to maximise your veggie harvest, and get tips on easy ways to compost. Available from newsagents and abcmagazines.com.au.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Blake Acres tackled, lost it. A chance for Thomas for the Giants. Beautiful hand pass to Ware. Over the top to Daniels. Hand pass to Kelly. He's a classy finisher. He stamps it onto his left and puts it through, and the Giants are in front.
Cadman's up to meet it. Got the handball to Toby Green. To Bedford. Swivels and snaps. High footy to the goal mouth. He's got it. Toby Bedford just sneaks it in. And the Giants have got 5 in a row. Kennedy hitting up at half forward. He wheels and kicks inside the forward 50. Curnow doubled back at the 40-30 from home. Rope by De Koning. The big man getting down low and snapping a goal. Carlton with 2 in a minute after they couldn't kick one for the first 26 of this second term.
Up towards Bedford and Jacob Wiedering in from the side. Got a fist to it and spoil out of play and just landed awkwardly now, grabbing at his right knee.
Absolutely, Clinchy. He's really in a lot of pain and he was very quick to get off the ground. The physio and doctor attending to him now.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Half-time from Docklands in Melbourne. It's the Giants who lead by 9 points over the Blues. 9-4-58 to Carlton 7-7-49. After the Blues led by 6 points at quarter time. Matt Lynch and Joel Peterson call all the action. Ian Cohen is down on the boundary. Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson are your experts on ABC Sport. For most of our audience tonight, we'll be taking you to the Gabba, where the second-placed Cats, unbeaten so far in season 2024 with 5 wins. Next to their name, they travel to the Gabba to take on the Brisbane Lions, who got back on the winners list last week against Melbourne. If you're looking for coverage of Derby number 58, it's taking place from Perth. Coverage on the ABC Listen app. If it's not in your local radio network, it's available on the AFL Listen app. Just look for the AFL Extra button, and of course we'll bring you all the coverage. The WA team have the AFL CEO Andrew Dillon as part of their pre-match lead-in. Earlier today it was Collingwood who prevailed by 42 points over Port Adelaide, 17-21, 123 to for Port Adelaide, 12-9-81. Some crazy swings in momentum. Port Adelaide led by 31 points during the first quarter. Collingwood led by 12 points at half-time. So swings of 6 goals apiece. In the end, it was a 12-goal turnaround for Collingwood. And Bobby Hill, the small forward for the Pies, caught up with ABC Sports' Jess Webster.
Here with Bobby Hill after a 42-point victory over Port Adelaide, cradling a newborn as well, which is really sweet. But Bobby, first game back at the MCG in 30 days, and first time that you have won since grand final day here at this venue last year. It must be an awesome feeling to get the job done in front of your fans.
Yeah, it was. It was a great turnout. Our fans are the best in the league to get to every game, and what an unbelievable win for us boys and everyone at the footy club. It's unbelievable to obviously get back here again and obviously win a game.
31 points down in that first quarter. What was going wrong for you guys against this quality outfit in Port Adelaide? Yeah, Port Adelaide are a great side. Their midfield, they got great forwards, and obviously their back line's very, very tall and unbelievable with foot skills. And we knew they were going to come out firing, and we just keep our structure and footy. Obviously, keep smiling, and don't let anything get in our heads. And again, we just went back to our strengths, and that's just obviously playing the footy and obviously getting the crowd involved. So it was an unbelievable win, and we knew Port was going to come out firing. And you turned it around so superbly, particularly around the contest. Apart from the first quarter, do you feel like you're back playing the Collingwood way? Yeah, it is. I think we are back. Obviously, there's still room for improvement, and we're not at our best yet. And I guess when we are, it's very scary. And but that was an unbelievable win. That's the way we want to play, and if we can keep that going throughout the whole year, it's we're very dangerous. And what does a win like that do for your confidence? Obviously, you've had a couple of wins now against Brisbane, Hawthorn, a bye, but Port Adelaide, they're a top 4 contender, and the way that you managed to get that run on and really close them down was really impressive to watch. So how much confidence does it give you? Yeah, it is. I think we when we do get in front by a bit, and I think we let teams sometimes come back through, and I think that's what one of our focus was, is let's see, keep playing the way we want to play, don't drop off, and again, it's a lot of confidence, and you see what that done last year to a lot of teams who was down not in the top 10 and end up coming back through and playing finals. So if we can keep playing the Collingwood brand of footy, and again, it's a long year, and again, it's unbelievable, and it's so fun to play when we're like this. Now I've got to ask you about Pendles, who was subbed off, and he was on 9,996 disposals when Craig McRae took him off. Did you know that he was approaching his 10,000 disposal milestone? And what do you think about the decision from the coach? I don't know. I knew obviously how many disposals, was it 23 or something like that, to get to, was it 10,000 or something like that? He's an unbelievable player, and I mean it might be a great call, because playing next week at the Anzac Day, he gets it, and how big the crowd's going to be there, and what a wonderful day it is to celebrate Anzac Day, and he gets that. I guess the Collingwood crowd will be up and about, and it'd be great. It's an unbelievable achievement for him and his family, and he's just an unbelievable player. And I still pinch myself to this day. I'm his teammate, and it's unbelievable. Now you're getting much sleep. Tell me who you've got here in your arms, and what's life been like lately? Yeah, obviously I've got my little junior at home, Bobby, and this one here I've got Malachi. My partner's been unbelievable. She's been obviously the rock in this relationship. Obviously having him, and when it's obviously game days the next day, she's the one that's taking him, and she's up all night with him. So obviously not up all night, but when he's feeding, she's up, and she's the best, and very grateful, and again, very lucky to have a great family, myself and my 2 boys and my partner. Amazing. Well done today. We can't wait for a massive Anzac Day clash against Essendon on Thursday. Good job. Thank you.
Collingwood Live Wire. Bobby Hill there with ABC Sports' Jess Webster after the Magpies' 42-point win over Port Adelaide. In the NRL today, round 7 of the National Rugby League competition, it was the Penrith Panthers who defeated the West Tigers in the early match, 22 points to 6, while the Gold Coast Titans and the Manly Seagulls was locked at 10-all after 20 minutes there. Coming up later tonight, the Brisbane Broncos and the Canberra Raiders. And if you're a fan of the AFL and you want to get all the latest news that's taking place, a brand new podcast is coming your way next week. ABC AFL Daily with Catherine Murphy and Premiership legend Paul Roos are available. So all the talking points from the AFL on a daily basis, subscribe on the ABC Listen app or wherever you get your podcast from. Ian Cohen on the boundary.
the switch has been made. Jacob Wiedering, of course, was injured in the last couple of minutes, and Wiedering is now out. We believe the switch has been made, and Carroll will be inserted for the Carlton Football Club. I'm waiting to see if Wiedering makes his way round to the bench, but it was a lower leg issue, the knee or ankle. But Carroll is in the game for the Blues.
Hang on. Hold fire. Kez Peterson, as a fellow defender, you've got your eyes locked on Jacob Wiedering. So he had a heavy strapping applied to the left thigh. I reckon he's managed to sneak his way back out there.
Yeah, I can see Carroll's got his jumper off, so he might have to go looking a bit harder, Koza, because Wiedering has taken his place in the back line. I was watching the replay at half-time. He copped a ripper knee directly to the upper portion of his quad, so he's going to be a sore boy. But good news for Carlton, particularly the back line that's been under the pump, is that he's taking his place to begin the third quarter. How
painful will that be for the next couple of days, do you reckon?
Yeah, he is going to be very, very sore.
So
Carroll is certainly in, so it's a matter of working out what it is. But Wiedering was certainly laid out, wasn't out there, but good news for the Blues that he is.
All right, we'll work our way through the team sheets, which no doubt will come through in the next few moments. The Giants by 9 points as we get the third quarter underway. Here's Joel Peterson.
They laid down the challenge in a big way in that second term to the undefeated Giants. The Blues coming off their only loss thus far here against Adelaide last week, looking to take down this unbeaten side. Pitternet with the opening clearance out of the middle. Kicks it straight to Lockie Whitfield. After he came off his toe, Whitfield will send this out wide. The Giants can run off halfback. Let's check in with Koza.
Yeah, it's the decision's been made. Williams, who we know injured his leg as well, has been made as the sub out, and Carroll in.
Just hope there's nothing too sinister there for Zach Williams with his injury history. Tom Green to Ware to Toby Green, who hits up at high half forward. Now he rolls onto the front point of the square. Left foot kick to full forward. Hogan's in the pack. Briggs was there as well. Wiedering gets it at ground level. Immediately tackled. Bedford's in to wrap him up. And we'll have a ball up at full forward for the Giants.
Thrown up in the air, Briggs and Pitnet. Pitnet knocks it down towards Akers. Can't take it cleanly. Hogan's hand pass, missed the target. Hewitt through traffic, tackle by Hogan, holding the ball. And the Giants' key forward wins a free kick with a big tackle. Only 20 metres out from his attacking goal.
Just got to check on the video a little bit closer whether his fist actually made contact with the ball. He had a chance to get rid of it. He sort of took on the tackler.
So George Hewitt is slow to rise, and Jesse Hogan will take the free kick.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it was a good decision.
It's been the shining light for the Giants this season. Leading the Coleman in 2024 so far. Shooting for his third with that stuttering approach. He comes in from 25 metres out. Hogan puts through his third, and the Giants pick up where they left off. The first goal of the second half to extend their lead to 15 points. 10-4-64 to Carlton 7-7-49. Just 2 minutes gone in the third term on ABC Sport.
It's an amazing player, Jesse Hogan. I was certainly critical of him in the first 3 quarters of his career up until this point. He had enormous talent, but just could not realise it on a consistent basis. But certainly last year came into his own, and this year taken another step further. And I think he's going to end up like a Tom Hawkins, whose second half of his career is way better than his first half.
Just 29 years of age, Jesse Hogan, with still so much, as you said, Berkey, potential to come, and especially with the Giants, with their academy alongside the Suns, they might be competing for a long time yet.
He's on the end of some pretty silver service out of the middle as well. It's a midfield you wouldn't mind playing up forward, having them work for you. Back in the middle, here's Callaghan dragging it out of the stoppage. Handball forward, slapped down by Newman. Found Walsh to Ollie Hollands on the wing. He handballs forward now to Hewitt. Defensive hand pass to Newman. Left foot kick out wide, spreading the field to Boyd. Got it between the wing and right half forward. Pokes his pass on the diagonal to Ollie Hollands. 55 from home. He's got options inside the 50. Takes the first one available. And why not kick it to brother Elijah, who's marked 45 metres out.
Well, well done by Elijah then. He was just darting around all over the place. Most of the other forwards were sort of standing still, waiting to see what the kicker was going to do. But he was just darting here and there and gave himself a little bit of space, and deservedly gets a shot at goal.
So Elijah Hollands from 45 metres out after collecting the pass from Ollie. He says, cheers, brother. I'll slot that one from just inside the arc. 2 for Elijah Hollins, 3 for the brothers this afternoon. And Carlton have the immediate answer back. 8-7-55. The Giants 10-4-64. Back where we started in this third term. We're 4 minutes through it on ABC Sport.
A name that we haven't called too much this afternoon has been Jordan Boyd. That was only his 4th kick, but it was a really clever one. It was probably 75, 80 metres out from goal, and instead of taking the extra kick that was only going to go probably 20 metres wide and really narrow the options going inside forward 50, he pivoted and went on the inside 45 and hit Hollins. It was a really courageous kick, and it really opened up the options when Oliver Hollins, that is, turned around and was able to find the forward. Really clever by Boyd.
3-time All-Australian Carlton captain Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport. A goal apiece to start this third quarter. The Giants lead cut back to 9 points. Back in the middle, Briggs wins down the tap against Pitnet. Cripps over the footy, trying to wrestle it away from Finn Callaghan. It spins out the way of Sam Walsh. Hand pass away to Hewitt. Lunging effort by Daniels. Kicks inside 50 to Coating on the lead. He marks on his chest in front of Connor Iden. And the Blues with a textbook centre bounce clearance, and it's ending up in the hands of the man who's normally in the middle, Tom DeConey, who will shoot for his third.
The key for Carlton here is if Mark Pitner can shoulder 80% of the ruck work, this guy can be a very, very good forward. That was a well-timed lead.
To pull it back to a 3-point ball game, Tom DeConey comes in and misses. Kick to the left-hand side. It wasn't his best drop of the footy. An 8-point lead the Giants' way. Ian Cohen on the boundary.
Jack Carroll is now on for the Blues, and I've had a firm and frank exchange with the man who gave you the information.
Don't shoot the messenger, they say. Buckley.
If it makes you feel any better, Koza, we had 3 different names come up on our computer, so I think everyone was a bit confused.
You weren't alone.
There was a level of confusion, but we got the right man in the end. But yes, I did have a robust discussion about that and the information regarding Wiedering, who thankfully is out there for the Blues.
Here's Lekalia, the big South Australian. Kicks long down the line, looking for Toby Green. Free kick in the marking contest. And it'll go the way of the orange jumpers. Cadman, beautiful left foot kick into the forward 50. Finds Hogan. He dropped it into the bucket, the space that only Hogan could access. He's 45 metres out, and he's tied up on the boundary in the left forward pocket, is Jesse. He moves Michael Klein out of the way, who's doing his work behind the camera this afternoon. Will he go for the set-up kick or have a ping?
Free kick.
A little bit off.
Toby Green's been put down off the ball.
A bit going on behind the footy, and this is going back the other way. So the indiscretion against Green on that occasion. And the free kick's going to Wiedering. So what Jesse Hogan was going to do with the shot matters not, because the Carlton defenders got it inside the back 50.
Kicks up towards Harry Mackay, who takes the mark in front of Alir. Harry swings onto his left-hand side, kicks up towards Pitnet, who positions himself well against the smaller Ware. Hand pass to Walsh into traffic. Getting a hand onto it, Kelly. Spills the way of Cripps. Hand pass to Walsh. It's spoiled away by Ward. Kicks into the teeth of goal. It's a tough ball to win for the Blues. As over the top, unable to knock it clear, Fantasia. Still a chance, though, for Carlton. It comes out the way of Cowan. From 52, it's offline to the right and through for a minor score. A 7-point lead the Giants' way at the 7-minute mark of the third term on ABC Sport.
They're peppering away, the Blues. They're getting enough shots and enough opportunities down there. I think it's going to be a question mark of how accurate they can be at the end of this game, because they're shooting themselves in the foot at the moment.
Himmelberg brings it into right half back to Iden. Long kick down the city wing. Cadman was up, got a hand to it, knocked it down. Ware. Nicely done to Green, knocked it on. Tom Green just tumbles it down the line looking for Toby Green. Boyd had a play at it, rumbles around off his shin, and then Pitternet handballs out wide. Can't find anyone on the end of it. And it'll be thrown back into play. 8 disposals for Jacob Ware this afternoon from Balaclava in South Australia. One of the great names for a country football team going around. About an hour north of Adelaide, Berkey, the Balaclava Woodpeckers.
I like that.
Heard the Woodpeckers before for a team?
No, I think that's pretty impressive.
Pitnet takes it for the Blues out of the ruck. Hand pass to Akers. Gets the hand pass away to Elijah Hollands. Links up with Kemp. Through the middle of the ground. Newman works it to Owies and now Cripps. He charges inside 50. Ran out of room. Needs support. Trying to get the hand pass back. A free kick for a hole. And it's going to go the Giants' way. To the frustration of the Carlton fans over the roof. And Harry Perryman will take the free kick. He's stepped off his line, so he's called to play on. But the Carlton players haven't realised given the noise. Short to Ash and now out to Connor Iden. Right half back gets the hand pass away to Himmelberg. Around the outer side where Ware takes the mark.
Yeah, the mighty Woodpecker chips it infield to Kelly. Kelly now on to Daniels. Back to the run of Josh Kelly. Pokes the pass inside the 50. Clever from Brown. Left the space for Cadman to fill in. Cadman's marked at 50 from home. Kick not the distance. Kelly has to immediately just fire the handball out, looking for Callum Brown. On the hop, got it to Perryman. Ward got run down. Great tackle from Akers. Spills to O'Halloran. He eyes the sticks from 45 metres out. And O'Halloran drags his kick to the right. Minor score. Blues fans still not happy. They trail by 8 points. 9.5 gone in this third term on ABC Sport.
Sort of feel like this game is just starting to heat up. We could be in for a fair quarter and a half to close out the contest. As Wettering takes the kick in from Boyd. He has it in the right back pocket. That left thigh is heavily strapped. As he hugs the boundary line with the kick looking for Durden. It's close to the line. It's over it. And the Giants will take the free kick. Perryman will take it for GWS. Turns and comes inboard to Kelly. As Tom Green over the top. Decides against the quick hand pass. Pushes back behind his mark. Jesse Hogan heads to the goal square. He sends it in that direction. Flying in from the side. It's spoiled out by Young. And across the boundary line in the left forward pocket for a throw-in for the Giants. Only by 8 points. Just having a look at a couple of the superstars for either side. Tom Green with 14 disposals and 3 clearances. Patrick Cripps with 22 and 7 clearances.
Stuffing the stat sheet. Paddy Cripps, 6 tackles, 3 inside 50s as well. Ball tossed back in, forward 50 for the Giants. Free kick going to Navy Blue.
Yeah, it was against Tom Green. He was trying to shepherd to get his teammate free at the contest, but it's a little bit overzealous.
Newman just 9 irons his kick outside the defensive 50. Weighted it nicely for Akers. He's in the headband this afternoon, so too is Tom Green for the Giants. Blake Akers drives his kick down the broadcast side wing. Curnow and Buckley in the marking contest. Some support coming across from Riccardi to make sure that ball is killed out of play. And we'll have a throw in just attacking side of the interchange for the Blues. Goal apiece here in this third term. 10-5-65 to 8-9-57. Joel Peterson, Kieran Peterson, Nathan Burke, Ian Cohen, and this man Matt Clinch with you on ABC Sport.
Toss back into play. Pitnet sets himself in front of Riccardi. Whistle. Now, who's not officiating? Umpire at half forward for the Giants has made the call. So he's about 100 metres off the play. Sheesh. It's going the way of Patrick Cripps, who'll take it. Carlton fans like that call. He looks up inside 50, puts it in the direction of Charlie Curnow. He's outnumbered 2-on-1. Spoiled down by Iden. Swooping through Perryman. Hand pass back to Iden, to Ash under pressure. Gets the hand pass to Finn Callahan. He works it away to Riccardi. The hand pass to left half back. Tom Green goes short to Briggs. They work their way out of defence well.
So Briggs has got it. He's at a left half back. Thumps his kick down the line, the big fella. Young waited for it. Hogan beat him to the ball, knocked it down to Bedford. Now to Brown. That ball put itself into reverse and spun away from him. Cripps got it. Gave it to Young, to Kennedy, to Hewitt. Diving on him is Tom Green. And we'll have a ball up. Tom Green looks like he should be running around for the Raiders as a front rower this afternoon rather than the Giants. The native Canberran. Up it goes. Briggs for the Giants. He knocks it down. Free kick. Daniels will take it. Blues fans not happy about that. So Brent Daniels has got it 70 from home. Giants up by 8. 12.5 gone here in this third term on ABC Sport. Daniels kicks as far as he can to full forward. And the aerial support from Kemp to thump it out of play results in a throw-in left forward pocket. And the G-men are into attack.
A little bit more patient going inside 50, the Giants there. Just maintain the footy. The last 2 times they've kicked in long, Carlton have been able to spoil it over the boundary line and eventually win the ball.
Goal apiece so far in this third quarter as it's tossed back into play. Chance for Hewitt. He's tackled immediately by Xavier O'Halloran. There's nowhere to go. And the umpire will ball it up. Tackles away of the Giants. 8-2 so far in this third quarter. As Daniels tries to swoop onto it, brought down by Nick Newman, not before he gets a hand pass away. Kelly off the outside of the boot, puts through his second. Josh Kelly so composed. Carlton fans think Brent Daniels had a long time. It doesn't matter, the all clear's been given, and the Giants are out by 14 points. 11-5-71 to the Blues, 8-9-57. 13 minutes gone, third term.
Good lesson there for young Jack Carroll. His man wasn't the one that initially got the clearance, but his man, Josh Kelly, kept running, and Carroll, unfortunately, was caught napping, ended up trailing, and unfortunately for him, his opponent ran straight into an open goal. Really clever finish by Kelly, though. He just never gave up on the play.
He just sort of won out of nowhere there. There was a stack of players inside the forward 50 for the Giants. Tough to find room, but when you take the game on, you actually sprint through the contest and make something happen. That's what Daniels did.
Nichols lays it down in the middle. Briggs with the decisive hit out. Tom Green's on the end of it for the Giants. Wobbles his kick up toward half forward. Daniels leads the race and accepts it to his chest. 55 metres from home. Wheels immediately. Centering kick is an absolute peach. And hits up Josh Kelly. 45 out directly in front.
These two are just waxing with each other. Last one was a handball from Daniels to Kelly for a goal. This might be a lovely kick if he can kick straight, and I put my money on this one.
Yeah, they kicked one late in the piece last week from a similar distance. Josh Kelly, we know what a fluid left foot kick he is. He strides into this from 45, and it never looked like missing. Josh Kelly's got 3 and the last 2 of the game. And the Giants bounce out to a 20-point lead once more. 15 minutes played, third term. GWS 12-5-77. Carlton 8-9-57. On ABC Sport, you're with Nathan Burke and Karen Peterson.
I think it's the difference between the teams at the moment, Berkey. I know you mentioned the one previous where Daniels did have to launch long, but it was more of a slow build-up. At the moment, the contrast is that Carlton are choosing to do that every time. The Giants, when they've got possession and they're on the move, they're lowering their eyes and they're finding the open player. This is going to be a real challenge here for the Carlton defenders. Someone needs to get hold of Josh Kelly. He's on fire at the moment.
They've fought their way back into the game once when they're 20 points down. Have they got another one in them?
2 goals in 3 minutes for Josh Kelly. De Koning into the ruck, does the clearing work as well. Kicks inside 50. The mark is taken by Harry Himmelberg. Worked his way to the front against Corey Durden to mark. Inside the defensive 50 for the Giants. Flares it out to left half back where Perryman takes the mark. Works it up the wing over the top of Briggs. Cowan dropped the mark. Kelly tried to sink a slipper in there. It spills out to Akers. Kept it in play for the Blues. Hand pass to Elijah Holland to Carroll. To Cottrell. Gets the hand pass away to Walsh. Kicks long towards Charlie Curnow, who rises in the right forward pocket. Just as the Blues need a bit of a hero, Charlie Curnow takes an impressive pack mark. Deep in the right forward pocket. He has 4 behinds next to his name. Setting himself on the angle to potentially snap on the left. He's 25 metres out, 2 steps across the body. He puts through his first. And the Blues get a spark they desperately needed. Their second goal of the quarter after Josh Kelly with a couple in quick succession. The margin is back to 14 points the Giants' way. 12-5-77 to Carlton 9-9-63.
Keeps the streak alive, Clinchy.
Streak is still going. 53 consecutive games where he scored a goal.
Well, good players will make you pay, and to be totally honest, there was 2 Giants defenders there against Curnow, and both of them completely misread the ball. One was going backwards, one was coming sideways. That ball should have been punched in about the 10th row, but it was just Curnow reading the ball better than those 2, and a lovely left foot snap. You kick 4 behinds in a row, you might start to get a bit shaky. What am I going to do? But no, I'm going to chuck it on my opposite foot and bend it around the corner, and he's got himself on the board again.
The courage of his conviction, and he narrows the gap that Jesse Hogan's got atop the Coleman race back to 3. Hogan with 3 already this afternoon, came in leading by 1. Briggs with the clearance, then got dumped into the turf at half back for the Giants. Spilled out to Whitfield, shared the handball with Callaghan, off to Ash. Low kick out wide. Thomas couldn't collect it, and Kennedy scoots away with it for the Blues. Forward hand pass, bounces the way of Cripps. The skipper onto it at left half forward, tries to shake and bake around Lockie Ash. Eventually comes defensively. Chips to Carroll. Infield to Cowan. The Blues can build the ball up from the middle.
37 in the middle of the ground for Nick Newman. He has Kemp laterally, if he wants to go that far. Round on the broadcast side, he's looking more direct. Puts it out in front of Harry Mackay. He comes charging out. An imposing figure as he marks on his chest. Josh Kelly took a bit of a look around, thinking where were the reinforcements to offer the support. He chose not to chop in front of Big Harry on the lead.
I think you're being polite there, Quincy.
Well, you can call it as you see it.
Chose not to jump in front. I think he should have gone back with the flight of the ball a lot harder than what he actually did. At least fill the lane and allowed Mackay to come through the lane. So it's not his strong suit. His strong suit is down the other end, kicking really important goals.
Harry Mackay with it behind so far tonight until now. He comes in and puts through his first goal of the match. Curno's involved, Mackay is involved, and the Blues are starting to mount a fight back. The Giants' lead is 8 points. 12-5-77 to Carlton 10-9-69. 20 minutes gone, third quarter. Down to Ian Cohen on the boundary.
Nathan Burke, I think Adam Kingsley might be in agreement with you. He just turned and looked back towards the crowd, shook his head in amazement, and I don't think he was pleased with the way that worked structurally, let us say.
No, I'm just watching now. He just turned around and Kelly was summoned to the bench, and a couple of seconds, and then turned around and had a little bit of a word. We need both sides of the game from you, Josh. You're really, really skillful, but we need some courage at some times too.
So the volume just ramps up a couple of decibels under the lid here in the twilight on a Saturday afternoon on ABC Sport. You're enjoying the call from the restart. Tom Green flicks it up to Callan Ward, up and down the mine shaft in the centre square. Bounces off the bonds of Toby Green, couldn't take it cleanly. Ware was in there for the Giants. The Coning's in the scrap for the Blues. And we're going to have a ball up. And even the little things at this stage drawing the applause from the Carlton fans. Ball in attack for the Giants. Cripps' kick only as far as Callaghan. Comes away with it. Handball's out wide to Tom Green. Kicks on the bounce inside the forward 50. Controlled by Kennedy. Bangs it back the other way for the Blues. Somehow stayed in play. Ash takes it for the Giants. Handball looking for Tom Green. Picks it up at his bootlaces. Lasers a kick inside the forward 50. Coming across was Thomas. Spoiled by Kennedy. Goes to ground 45 metres out. Kemp's wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up. Giants in attack in that right forward pocket. They lead by 8 points. We're 21 minutes out. Played in this third term. We're 45 out from the Giants' goal.
The Blues made their sub at half-time. Zach Williams out of the match. Jack Carroll came in. Peatling, the sub for the Giants, yet to be used as Hewitt tries to gather at half-back for Carlton. Down pass to Tom de Koning. Kicks a high ball up towards Charlie Curnow. Can't take the mark. Spoiled by his own teammate Owies. Ash with a hand pass to Whitfield. Here go the Giants. Bedford almost run down. Kicks inside 50. Bumped as he got his kick away. And the mark is taken by Matt Kennedy. Just 35 metres out from his defensive goal. I think it was Durden who put the great last couple of strides in to put the pressure on. Kicks up towards Pitnet on the wing. Can't take the mark. Ollie Hollands with the hand pass to Cowan. Too slow. Tackle turnover as Daniels lays the tackle. The Blues regain it though. Pitnet hand pass to Ollie Hollands. It misses Kemp. Himmelberg over the top of the footy. Kemp lays the tackle. Tom Green over the top. Cowan over the top of him. It's like a rugby scrum and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
It's just that Ollie Hollands handball. It just hits the ground and ends that play dead.
Right on halfway. The game is up there for the taking at the moment. Giants by 8 points. They force it loose, but it'll come back with interest. Kemp's kick off the side of the boot, smothered and touched on the way through. Himmelberg got dragged down by Mackay. Blues take possession. Walsh to Cottrell. Out the back is Curnow. And Charlie puts through his second. The two-headed monster is starting to become a real problem for the Giants. Blues back to but within 2 points. 11-9-50-75 to GWS 12-5-77. 23 minutes played in the third term. And Carlton coming with a rush. They've got the last 3.
It's amazing, Kez, how when the ball gets touched off the boot, the guy who marks it is always the last one to hear that it's play on. Everyone else does.
Deafening in here, Berkey. It's deafening in here. What was really impressive about that passage of play was that as soon as Charlie Curnow saw that the turnover was about to happen, he was the fastest one to react and took off back towards goal. And his direct opponent, Buckley, had absolutely no chance because as soon as Curnow gets 2 or 3 metres of separation, you're not going to catch him.
The Blues are coming with a bullet. The last 3 goals in the match. Pitnet wrestles in the middle of the ground against Riccardi. Walsh gathers. Quick 1-2 with Pitnet. Blues free kick. Advantage taken. Walsh inside 50. Mackay in front position. Through his hands. Couldn't take the mark. Hang on. Chopping in the arms. He's going to get a free kick. Listen to the noise. As the Carlton fans are starting to get involved, and Harry Mackay with a chance to put through his second to join Charlie Curnow and potentially put the Blues back in front.
It's important he kicks this because they need to get in front. You can't keep overcoming a deficit, getting close, and then the other team pull away. It's really deflating. At some stage when you overcome that deficit, you need to get your nose in front.
Now we're down by 22 points in the second quarter. Harry Mackay comes in and returns the Blues to the lead. His second of the match. The last 4 of the contest. And Carlton with their noses in front by 4 points. 12-9-81 to the Giants, 12-5-77. Carlton with 5 goals to 3 in this third quarter through 24 minutes on ABC Sport.
Well, you called it and he did it. Sam Walsh is becoming a real problem for the Giants. He's up to 8 touches, 6 handball receives in this quarter alone. He was the one who affected that. They're just doing a really great job at the moment of free kicks are being given away in the middle of the ground by the Giants, and Carlton's not hanging around to see what's going on. They are taking off with a real aggression and a real pace that we haven't seen today, really.
It's at it, Joel. The two-headed monster that hit the last 4 goals for the Blues between them, Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay.
They can score in runs, this Blues team, that we know, and they're doing it at the moment. Back in the middle, hit a net down to Cripps, away to Walsh, to Hewitt, who got bumped as he kicked, goes inside the forward 50. Mackay wanted a free kick, so too the Blues fans. De Koning's there as well. Leclerc sits over the top of the footy. The pressure from the Blues is immense. They can feel that it's there for the taking at the moment. So can the Navy Blue Army. And we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the Carlton goal. Pitternet forcing his way to the front of the contest. Tackle laid, almost spilled out to Walsh. This GWS defence hanging on desperately at the moment. Brown goes in. He's dragged down by Akers. Ball spills loose out toward Kennedy at right half forward. Hewitt had a play at it. Elijah Hollands to full forward through the hands of Mackay. Iden's there, handball out to Thomas. The Giants clear only momentarily.
Where the mark was dropped by Cowan for the Blues, trying to find a way around Bedford. Jams it onto his right, long towards Harry Mackay. A couple of grabs, couldn't take it. Cripps was in front as well. Mackay tries to get a clearing hand pass to De Koning. Hand pass to Walsh. He's been involved in a lot. He misses to the right-hand side. Carlton's lead is 5 points at the 27-minute mark of the third term. Ian Cohen on the boundary.
For that sequence of Carlton goals, Aaliyah was sitting on the pine for a very long time, 8 or 9 minutes, and now that he's back there, they can't seem to mark as effectively. I know it's a big rap for someone just in the infancy of their career, but he's been very impressive.
Ash drives it in from fullback for the Giants, goes as far as he can out wide. Ball spills out the back of the marking contest toward Bedford. Can't take it cleanly. Tom Green can. On the AFL logo out of sight. Handball turned over. Fantasia's there. So too Cowan. Blues send it forward once more. Up toward Cripps. Roved by Walsh. Handball back to the skipper. Tries to shrug the tackle. He got rid of it eventually. Fantasia cruising through the 50. Darts the kick infield. Curnow at his boost laces. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, that is Charlie Curnow at his very best. He picks it up off his toes, turns in an instant, kicks his third, and Carlton are out by 11 points. 13-10-88 to the Giants, 12-5-77. 27 and a half minutes played in this third term, and the Blues are running rampant.
Well, the difference between a good player and an outstanding player is what they do below their knees. And even though Charlie Curnow's the premier full forward, it was his work below his knees He just picked the ball up and snapped it on his left foot. That was the difference there. And outstanding play. But whilst through the middle, he would be an easy man to tag because he gets the ball in exactly the same position every single time he gets it, and he does it extremely well. He never gets the ball with his back towards goal, but always gets it facing forward and drives it forward. He's had 7 handball receives so far this quarter. He's doing a great job.
We've come a long way, haven't we, since the days of Tony Lockett and Jason Dunstall, elevated to legend status at the Hall of Fame during the week, but Charlie Curnow, what a pickup. His third of the quarter. The Giants trying to answer back. Bedford gathers the clearance. Kicks into the right forward pocket. It's well wide of Cadman. Wiedering will get there first. He breaks away from the Toby Green tackle. Hand pass to Young. To Akers. Gets the hand pass back to Young. They flirt around with it at halfback. Akers' hand pass away to Carroll, hemmed in on the boundary at left halfback. Up towards Charlie Curnow and Buckley. Buckley gets a fist onto it. Trying to charge his way through Cottrell. Ducks out of a tackle. Hand pass to Akers. He gets it forward to Owies. The Blues are streaming forward. Kicks it to Koning, who marks on his chest. They're a blue wave at the moment, and they're giving the Giants everything they've got. Transitioning from half back to half forward, and just so slick to charge their way through.
And because you had De Koning leading at the ball and Mackay leading at the ball, the Giants defenders couldn't pop in front of one of them because there was 2 options. So great forward play by De Koning again.
Robbie Williams' favourite footballer, Tom De Koning, comes in, puts through his third. And the Blues charge continues in this third quarter. 7 goals to 3. And they are leaving the Giants in their wake. 14-10-94. To the GWS Giants, 12-5-77. Carlton by 17 points.
We applauded the Giants through that second quarter for their slick handball and how clean they made their ball movement. Carlton's doing the same thing, but it's not as clean. It's actually fairly scrappy. They've gone away from trying to play perfect football, and you could almost argue that they're saying play forward, go forward at all costs. And there's a few handballs that are getting through that if they got turned over, the supporters would probably throw their hands and say, well, what was that? But at the moment, the momentum that they're riding, it's just getting there and they're getting out, and it's through the handball and the scrap that they've been able to get us ahead.
The Giants kicked 6 in a row earlier in the contest, and now the Blues have done it to assume the momentum and the ascendancy in the ball game. Cripps is ridden into the turf by Kieran Briggs. And we'll have another stoppage in the middle. Joel Peterson and Matt Clinch calling it for you on ABC Sport. Karen Peterson, Nathan Burke, your experts. And Cohen on the boundary. Big night of footy coming up. Derby 58 and the Cats and the Lions. Now out of the middle. Here come the Giants. Harry Thomas. He loads up from downtown. And misses. And the man with 2 first names can only get both of them on the score sheet in a minor sense there. He narrows the gap to 16 points. 31 and a half minutes played in this third term.
The Blues have put extra behind the ball for the last couple of minutes. They're happy to go in 16 points ahead at, 16 points ahead at 3/4 time.
Boyd into Matt Kennedy, kicks up towards Pitnet, who's had a good few minutes, and that's an impressive mark. Mark Pitnet going to work in the middle of the ground and now taking a good contested mark on the wing. Looks up to De Koning, through the hands of Lockie Ash, who couldn't claim onto the mark. Himmelberg provides the support for the Giants. Cuts inboard. Hand pass missed Ash. Ollie Hollands forces a turnover. Cottrell's hand pass missed Elijah Hollands. Hand pass inboard to Newman. Hand pass to Charlie Curnow. He's caught stationary. And a good tackle laid by Ware. In fact, it's Thomas who charged his way into defence just as Charlie was about to load from 45.
Yeah, well done by Thomas. If he didn't lock that ball up there, that was probably another goal to the Blues.
Blues by 16. They kicked the last 6 of the game. Now Thomas with the clearance into the middle of the ground. Kennedy reaching up. Can't pull it in. Taken away by Tom Green. Adjacent to the centre circles. Handball forward to Hogan. Open forward line for the Giants. Hogan kicks toward Brown. Second grab. Got it. Callum Brown, 30 from home. He's smack bang in front.
There's another good kick by the Giants there. Charlie Curnow is the spare that you were talking about, Berkey. He's gone behind the ball. He was running directly towards the goal, so the kick had to come across the body to not allow the third man up in that contest, and it was a great kick and a great mark by Brown.
So the athletic Irish forward, goalless last week, starts his approach from 53 metres out. After the 3/4 time siren, Can he give the Giants some momentum heading into the last? He can't. The Blues fans delighted with that result, as they were with the third term from their team. Carlton challenged early in the piece. They trailed by 20 points halfway through that quarter. And from there, rattled off the next 5 goals, in fact 6 goals of the ball game. And at three-quarter time, it's Carlton ahead by 15 points, 14-10-94 to 12-7-79. They lead the unbeaten GWS Giants. Goal kickers to three-quarter time. Tom de Koning's got a career-high 3. Charlie Curnow's got 3. All of them coming in that term. Harry Mackay's 2 came in that term. Singles to Ollie Hollands, to Corey Durden, to Elijah Hollands, to Matt Owies and to Matt Cottrell. For the Giants, 3 to Josh Kelly, 3 to Jesse Hogan. Goals to Cadman, 2 to Toby Bedford, 1 to Brent Daniels, and a pair as well to Jake Riccardi.
What a quarter it was for the Blues. Back to their best. They lead by 15 points at three-quarter time. Great to have your company for Saturday footy on ABC Sport, on ABC Radio, ABC News Radio, via ABC Sport Digital, and now streaming on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the AFL button.
So, what makes us Australian?
Just be whoever you want to be.
And who's the obvious person to ask how that's transforming?
Welcome to Broken Hill, Miriam.
I'm on a quest to learn what it takes to change and adapt.
Occupation? I'm actually an escort.
An influencer.
Mm-hmm. Miriam Margolyes, Impossibly Australian.
You are changing the world.
Starts Tuesday, April 9 on ABC TV and always free, always entertaining on ABC iView.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Cottrell gets the hand pass away to Walsh, kicks long towards Charlie Curnow, who rises in the right forward pocket. 25 metres out, 2 steps across the body. He puts through his first. And the Blues get a spark they desperately needed.
Himmelberg got dragged down by Mackay. Blues take possession. Walsh to Cottrell. Out the back is Curnow. And Charlie puts through his second. The two-headed monster is starting to become a real problem for the Giants. Blues back to within 2 points.
Walsh inside 50. Mackay in front position, through his hands. Couldn't take the mark. Hang on, chopping in the arms. He's going to get a free kick. We're down by 22 points in the second quarter. Harry Mackay comes in and returns the Blues to the lead. His second of the match. The last 4 of the contest.
Fantasia cruising through the 50. Darts the kick infield. Curnow at his boost laces. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, that is Charlie Curnow at his very best. He picks it up off his toes, turns in an instant, kicks his third, and Carlton are out by 11 points.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
A rollicking third quarter in which Josh Kelly kicked back-to-back goals in 90 seconds, and the Giants led by 20 points. Enter Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay, and don't forget Tom de Koning. All of a sudden it's a 3-headed monster now, and the Blues finish with 7 goals to 3 in the third quarter to take a 15-point advantage heading into the final term. 14-10-94 to the Giants, 12-7-79. Wherever you're listening around Australia, great to have your company for Saturday Twilight Footy on ABC Sport. Matt Clinch and Joel Peterson calling the action. Ian Cohen down on the boundary. Kaz Peterson and Nathan Burke are your experts. For the majority of our audience, except for those in WA, our next stop is the Gabba as the Brisbane Lions host Geelong, and that's where we find Quentin Hull.
And what a salivating prospect it is, Clinchy. We're expecting some rain, though. It's drizzling a little, and there's some more precipitation coming towards the Gabba, a place where the Lions haven't won so far this season. The former fortress, well, if they lose tonight, it'll be 3 losses at the Gabba in a row for the first time since 2018. So the Lions trying to avoid that fate, while the Cats, of course, unbeaten so far in 2024. But of those 5 wins, they've only played one team that finished in finals last year. The Lions' 2-3 record sees them having played 3 teams that made the top 8 last year. So make of that as you will. Tommy Hawkins is back. Pat Dangerfield is back for the Cats among 4 inclusions for Chris Scott's men. No Zach Bailey for Brisbane for quite some time now for an ankle injury. The subs have been finalised. Jared Lyons, the sub for Brisbane, and Jai Clark for Geelong. Can't wait to bring it to you in pristine conditions as it stands, but the wet's coming. And of course, once we get through this, we'll keep you across and then send you west for the Derby as well, where the Eagles take on the Dockers, and our listeners in the west get the full call of that.
Thank you, Q. Looking forward to joining you at the completion of this match. And, of course, the ABC Listen app has every game of the AFL 2024 season available. Just look for the AFL or AFL Extra button if the game you're wanting is not on your radio. Kes Peterson and Nathan Burke. Was that the Blues at their best? 6 goals in 13 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I'm looking at Berkey because we spoke yesterday on radio and he thought that I was going to go very quiet in the second half. And I promised myself that I'd leave my bias at the door when I walked in today, but I was getting pretty excited during that third quarter. It was the prime movers in the middle, Berkey, that got him going. Sam Walsh is having another extraordinary game on return from a pretty serious injury. He had 12 touches and 8 score involvements in that third term alone. Patrick Cripps, 11 touches and 4 clearances. He's up to 30 disposals for the game. So all the work and the cheers and things come from the forward half of the ground, but they're getting it done around the middle of the ground, and it's something that they've been criticised for in the first couple of weeks of this term. Interestingly, for the Giants, they're going to go looking at their leaders in this fourth term to get them back in it. Ward and Toby Green only had 1 touch each in that third term.
The Blues by 15 points, looking to end the Giants' unbeaten run. In the middle of the ground, it's Walsh who gets the clearance to start the final term. He's been instrumental in everything. Hand pass out in front of Fantasia. Could have been held by Kelly. No whistle. Spills the way of Whitfield. Hand pass to Tom Green, to Ward. Back to Tom Green. Centering kick across the half-back line. It's over the head of Lockie Ash, who races after it. He looks for options around the outer wing. None really presenting, so takes a bounce. Runs away from Elijah Hollands and then turns and comes inboard. Tom Green takes the mark. Possession number 24 coming up for him.
Got it from Ash, who has 22 on the day. Peatling's into the game. Xavier O'Halloran's been subbed out of the contest for the Giants. Hands it off to Whitfield. Wide kick finds Kelly as they shift the ball across the breadth of the field here at Docklands. The Giants conceded the last 6 goals in that third term. They kicked 6 goals either side of quarter time in a row to assume control of the ball game, but now it's the Blues in charge by 15 points. Perryman kicks to full forward. Hogan 2 hands to it. Roved wonderfully by Cadman. Throws it on his left boot to the behind line. Toby Green can't collect it. And Ollie Hollands is keen to see it across for a minor score. Opens the scoring here in this final term. It's the Blues by 14 a minute play.
Kes, when was the last time we saw 12 goals to 14 at three-quarter time?
Not this season for me, anyway.
Not this season. I watch St Kilda games. I don't see it ever.
Boyd brings the Blues back into play. Up towards De Koning, who rises and takes the mark. That's a career best 3 goals tonight. Hand pass to Cripps through the middle of the ground. Kicks to Charlie Curnow. Mackay's on the lead. In front of Lecalier, it clears the 2 and over the back it goes. Racing after it, Ollie Hollands. After him is Ash. The reinforcements arrive. Ware's there to support Ash. Hand pass over his shoulder. Charging onto it, Mackay. He tries to knock it clear. Lear over the top. Mackay over the top of him. He's turned to the umpire. And he says he's going to ball it up just inside the boundary in the right forward pocket for Carlton. 2 minutes gone in the final term. The Blues by 14 points on ABC Sport. We're just conferring on whether it was out of bounds or a ball up.
Throw it in.
We need to get these little things right, Joel, let alone whether it's holding the ball or not in the last passage of the game.
I think the correct answer in that instance, Clinchy, was who cares? It's going to be a stoppage either way, close to the boundary line. Let's just get it a little bit further in field. And that's what they've decided to do. Ball spins back into play. Hitternet wins it down to the front of the pack. Durden cruising through. He can't take it. Picked up close to the boundary line. Walsh. Cripps on the outside of the boot. Nifty little kick. Durden! Crashing through the pack. The body's coming the other way. He was able to pull the mark in. 20 metres out. Negligible angle. Should go back and finish from here.
Little fella, he had to look around when the ball was coming and he thought, do I have to go for this? Yeah, yep, I'm the best position to get it. There's big fellas closing in, but well done. He kept his eyes on the footy, went up, took a chest mark.
So Corey Durden's got 1 already. after getting crunched and taking the mark. He slots the finish. The Blues raise the bat with 100 points to their name, and they kicked the last 7 of the ball game. 15-10-100 Carlton. GWS 12-8-80. 3.5 minutes played. Final term on ABC Sport. Nathan Burke and Karen Peterson, your experts.
He did well to really protect his body then, didn't he? He turned into where the ball was coming from in order, knowing that the contact was going to come. But that was really clever, the way that he was able to turn his body. Interestingly, through that third quarter, the little blokes in the forward line of Carlton haven't really had a big impact in the game. Fantasia's had 6 touches. Durden's that was his 5th disposal, and Owies has only had 4, so they haven't really got going. But a goal like that, where he had to put his body on the line, and he's very, very happy with himself after the goal, so that might get them going.
8 goals to 3 since half-time. Back in the middle, Pitnet wins down the tap. Unable to break through. Here's George Hewitt, and the umpire is going to ball it up. Tackled by Peatling, who's into the action, and Cal Ward.
Becky, do you subscribe to the first to 100 wins theory?
Depends how close the team behind is.
Briggs got a clearance up towards half forward. Knocked on by Bedford inside 50. Wiedering tried to put a slipper into it. Didn't clear the congestion. Kemp's kick out towards Tom Green. One way then the other to Ware. Ware swings onto his left-hand side. He kicks inside 50. Toby Green's in the pack. Can't take the mark. Knocked away by Fantasia. Out towards George Hewitt. Couldn't take it cleanly. Cripps comes charging in. Locks the footy up. And the umpire will ball it up 30 metres out from the Giants' goal. You weren't convincing, Berkey, there that you fully believe in that theory?
No, I don't. Need a goal now, though. The Giants can't let the Blues kick 8 in a row.
Briggs wins it down. Drove by Hewitt. Got it off to Ollie Hollands. Kick outside the defensive 50. Cut off by Perryman, who finds Tom Green 52 metres from home. Cripps takes a couple of paces back on the mark to stand with his heels right on the white paint of the 50.
It's where Cadman and Callum Brown need to come into it a little bit more. We just can't rely on Jesse Hogan, because the Blues are keeping a really close eye on him. They need their second and third tall forwards to have an impact.
3 goals this season, for Tom Green. He darts it into the pocket. Toby Green's the target of the kick. Did well at ground level to pick it up. Kicks across the face of goal. Hogan got a hand to it, couldn't keep it in. And we'll have a throw in. Left forward pocket. Giants into attack. They trail by 20 points. And we are 6 minutes gone in this final term on ABC Sport.
Of course, for those, Joel, listening to us in the northern states as well, Carlton have played in 8 of their last 11 have been decided by under 10 points. Thrown back in. Briggs tries to knock it down. And Toby Green almost brought down. Kept his footing. Non-officiate umpire says and it's a free kick going the way of the Blues. There was a hold, I think, on Boyd before that. Although it's going to be Nick Newman who gets the free kick, so make your own sense of that. But I think it was before Toby Green actually got hold of the footy. So Newman goes short to the pocket and Kemp takes the mark. Carlton 15-10-100 to the Giants, 12-8-80. 7 minutes gone, final term on ABC Sport. Kicks up towards Charlie Curnow. It's spoiled down by Connor Iden into the direction of Ware. His kick is picked off by Boyd of the Blues. Kicks up towards Curnow, who didn't have to break stride. He takes the mark. Inside 50, looking for Harry Mackay. A big shove on Alir, who did well to hold his body position and spoils it out of play for a throw-in just his 5th AFL game of footy. His first since 2022. Lecalier is coming up big.
Young man out of Anglevale. South Australian product. Ball will be tossed back into play. Blues inside the attacking 50. De Koning cruising through his dirt and throws it on the boot. And he's just snuck it in for a minor score. You see no score review required to determine something that was indeterminable. 21 points the margin the way of the Blues. 7.5 gone in this final term.
Giants quickly bring it back into play. Iden works it to Buckley, who marks it right half back from the Whitfield kick in. So all of a sudden you've got to go back to the Josh Kelly goals in the midway mark of the third quarter for the Blues rampage in that third term. They just need a little fire starter here as Buckley into the middle of the ground. Hogan can't take the mark. Walsh, who's been superb all afternoon, gathers, swings onto his right-hand side, kicks towards Mackay, who comes charging out. Here's a man mountain as he marks just inside 50.
Well, we haven't been able to see the Giants link up and move the ball quickly through the middle of the ground. It's been very laboured. I think the defensive setup of Carlton and their midfielders transitioning from when they have got the ball to when they haven't got the ball has been outstanding, certainly in the second half. And Giants, they move the ball better than anyone in the league when they're allowed to, but the Blues haven't allowed them to.
2 goals in the third quarter for Harry Mackay, shooting for his third. He's missed off the line to the left. He didn't like it off the boot. And a minor score. So a 22-point lead the way of the Blues at the 9-minute mark of the final term.
Giants last week, of course, led before the Saints rattled home and kicked the last 6 of the game. Carlton led before Adelaide kicked the last couple here. Anything is possible with plenty of time remaining in this game. Blues with the ball on the City side wing. High kick inside forward 50. Ash with hands to it. Spills down to Perryman. Handball off to Whitfield. He kicks up toward Riccardi through his hands. Daniels out the back. Tussles with his opposite number 16 in Carroll. Almost spilled out to Wiedering. Blues with the ball now through Cripps. City wing. Cuts it infield at the bootlaces of Pitternet. Big fella was good enough to get down low and get it. Now Cripps comes across the ground to the broadcast side. Finds Blake Acres in space.
Acres looks inboard. He's deterred against that by Cowan. So kicks around the broadcast side and finds Matt Owies.
This is all just valuable seconds off the clock here by the Blues.
Owies veers out to the right, kicks in the direction of Harry Mackay, who almost takes an impressive pack mark. Had a big piece of it, just couldn't hang on at the end. And it's caught underneath Lecalier and a couple of others, and the umpire will ball it up 40 metres out from the Carlton goal.
Lear just can't let Mackay run and jump at the footy.
Briggs takes it out of the ruck, hacks the kick up the wing. Hogan comes charging out against Young, gathers, hand pass to Ward, links up with Tom Green, needs support, wants to get the hand pass away, puts it out in front of Finn Callaghan. He works it over the top to Thomas, look out, crunch! Tackled by Nick Newman. It spills to Cowan of the Blues. Hand pass inboard to Walsh. Hand pass chopped off by Whitfield. Got it to O'Halloran. Tough ball to get to Cal Ward through the hands of Sam Walsh. Kicks up towards Toby Green. Ward, Boyd back with a flight. And Green gave away a free kick, although it's always interesting when a player is going back with a flight as to how the umpires view it, and a few of the Carlton players come in to remonstrate with Toby Green.
Tom Green puts Lockie Cowan down. Meanwhile, Boyd takes his kick. That one will be looked at, no doubt. Here's Elijah Hollins at half-back. Swings it across the defensive 50 to brother Ollie. The Wodonga kids combining in navy blue. Ollie Hollins kicks up toward Owies, who's got it between the centre of the ground and half forward. Hollins has continued to run. Kicks to full forward. Pitternet to Koning. Giants with numbers in defence. Oh, Mackay lays the tackle and wins the free kick. He caught Whitfield napping. And if they're not doing it in the air, the big fellas are doing it on the deck for the Blues. 20 out, directly in front. Harry's got the free and a set shot to end things. And a warm applause for Patrick Cripps, who brings himself to the bench, having amassed 35 disposals. Meantime, Harry Mackay for his third and to ice it. A 6-goal second half between the Twin Towers. Carlton out to a game-high 28-point lead. This is powerful, imposing, enthralling stuff from Carlton. 16-12, 108. The Giants 12-8-80, 12 and a half gone. Final term on ABC Sport. Your experts are Kieran Peterson and Nathan Burke.
There's a lot to like in that passage of play from the Blues. Want to highlight the run of Ollie Hollins. He came to the club with the reputation of being a gut-running midfielder, and he's fitted in beautifully with that lethal left foot of his. The kick wasn't particularly to advantage, but what the other part of that passage that they'll like is the contest, and then Harry Mackay's follow-up forward 50 pressure.
The voice of Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport. Trying to break away Hewitt. He's locked up in a tackle. Thought he was taken high in the tackle from Josh Kelly. The umpire will ball it up. So the Giants have anything left to fire. to Koning, wins down the tap to Walsh. Another entry inside 50. Oh, he's the target. Iden spoils it down. Charging into it, Cottrell becomes the tackler. Himmelberg gets the hand pass away. Links up with Perryman, trying to get it to Tom Green. Had to work it off Carroll. Carlton emerged with it once more. Hewitt's hand pass. Can't quite get it to Ollie Hollands on the first attempt. He does gather it on the second. Hand pass back to Hewitt, to Kennedy. Inside 50, and Owies takes the mark. He's out to the left, right on 50, Matt Owies. He's got the goal already tonight, but this will take his absolute best.
Yeah, the Giants defenders will need to be awake to this because it's right on his range. Kerno and Mackay lurking, and the Smalls are really starting to get involved.
2 goals to none in this final term the way of the Blues. As Matt Owies veers out to the right, gives it everything he's got. It's not a bad effort. Can it carry the line? It's close, but it's just touched across, and a minor score. Carlton by 29 points at the 14-minute mark of the final term, and the kick-in is mixed. Lockie Ash.
The pressure's on. Cottrell's there. It's picked up by Akers. Coming away with it is Kemp. Brodie Kemp on the outside of the boot. Well, it looked pretty off the boot. That was until it hit the behind post. And that goes out of bounds on the full. So a 29-point margin for the Blues. 16-13 plays 12-8. 14 and a half minutes played here in this final term. Can Kelly get the Giants moving up the ground?
Up to the wing. Cadman caught behind against Wiedering. Wiedering got good support from Boyd. Gives it back to the vice-captain. Kicks inside 50. Oh, he's got a shove. Umpire waves play on as it goes out of play. In the right forward pocket for the Blues. Lecalier sees it over the line. And a boundary throw in. 15 minutes gone. Final term. Carlton by 29 points. And now the clock starts to become a bit of an enemy of the Giants as it's thrown back into play. Riccardi into the ruck against Koning. Spills down the way of Fantasia. Couldn't take it. Kelly kicks up towards halfback. A bouncing ball towards Cadman. He's tackled by Wiedering. Spills out. And Brown can't break clear as the umpire will come in and ball it up once more. The Carlton fans are enjoying the show so far. It's been a dominant second half.
Yeah, their pressure is just amazing. The Giants cannot get any chains of kicks or handballs or marks. They're just banging the ball forward. The setup and pressure from Carlton is immense.
9 goals to 3 since the main break. Walsh at the clearance, hands it off to Akers. Back to Hewitt. Right foot kick up toward half forward. On the bounce out in front of Mackay. Lecalier led into the footy. Mackay lays the tackle, which draws the applause from the Blues faithful. And let's go downstairs to Ian Cohen.
Big crowd in the house, and Carlton fans have found their voice. 40,474 in tonight.
I'd say about 40,000 of them are in Baggers attire as well. Hewitt at the stoppage. Akers handballed it to Koning all across half forward for the Blues. Now back in the hands of Hewitt. Walsh, they give some ground to make it up the other way. Boyd's kick to half forward. Who can present? Cottrell was up there for Carlton. He couldn't take it with him. Sliding through was Bedford. Picking it up is Walsh. Blues out through Kennedy. Kennedy kicks inside the forward 50. And all alone is Akers. Just had to drop to his knee. He juggled it and fumbled it, but pulled her in eventually. Uncontested 40 from home.
He nearly made a meal of it there. Akers, he had enough time and no pressure on him, so he was able to bring the ball to the chest. But that applause was for Sam Walsh, who's been absolutely enormous today as he came to the bench.
So Blake Akers to make it 9 in a row for the Blues. He's pulled it to the left. It's a minor score. The margin is an even 30 points, 5 kicks, 17 played final term on ABC Sport. Here's Matt Clinch.
Harry Himmelberg brings the Giants back into play, finds Whitfield in the left back pocket. He plays on immediately, kicks up towards Connor Iden, who takes the mark centre wing on the outer side. It's incredible to think they haven't scored a goal since midway through the third quarter. You can hear the Bronx cheers for Toby Green, given he was involved in that contact with Boyd. Kicks into the pocket, into the direction Jesse Hogan, who can't take the mark, and off hands it goes out of play. A throw in the left forward pocket for the Giants. Carlton by 30 points.
This is where the Giants need to develop some extra targets up forward other than Jesse Hogan. He's battled hard all day, Jesse. He's worked his backside off, but he needs some help.
I wonder if Adam Kingsley thinks about throwing Himmelberg forward or just something different to give them a different look, although Josh Kelly's been a pretty good player. He gathers, kicks across the face of goal and misses everything from the left forward pocket to the right forward pocket, and a boundary throw in with the Giants deep in attack, trailing by 30 points.
Coming up later tonight, Derby number 58. From out west, if you're in WA, you can catch that, of course, on the ABC Listen app. And Brisbane and Geelong for the majority of our audience here on ABC Sport. At the throw-in, De Koning takes it off the pack. Handball around the body, almost taken by Cowley. Here's Peatling. He was the hero last week. That's a terrific finish. James Peatling curls it home around the body and nabs one back for the Giants to make it a 4-kick game. 16-14, 110 Carlton. GWS 13-8, 86. And as Clinchy said a little earlier, it's the first goal since the 15-minute mark of that third term for the team in orange.
Good snap by Peatling on the left foot from around about 45 metres out. Carried well into the crowd. Be nice to see what this young man could do in a full game. Came on last week and took the game-saving mark. Did really well, but a full game for Peatling, I think he's probably due.
He's been playing on the wing, which is a hard spot to take in a lot of AFL sides at the moment. But on the evidence in which we've seen, he certainly offers a point of difference. Played pretty much 3 quarters with Sam Taylor subbed out in the first quarter last week. As Cripps tries to get the clearance, his kick is straight up in the air and he gathers it himself. The Carlton captain fires a hand pass inside 50. Durden bursts into space, kicks on goal and misses to the left-hand side. Patrick Cripps almost did it all one-handed.
Yeah,
received his own hand pass and almost set up another goal.
Sorry, Clinch, he deserved a better finish, that one from Durden. He had far much more time than what he thought he did.
Iden almost ran himself into trouble from the kick-in. Got it to Perryman, to Whitfield, now to Peatling. Here's Harry Thomas. A Turvey Park product from Wagga. Evening to Quentin Hull, who will be calling Brisbane and Geelong up next. Long kick from Thomas to half forward. Through the hands of Cadman. Lays the tackle. Comes out to Callaghan. Now handball back to Thomas at right half forward. Got it off to Tom Green for the Giants. Curls the kick on the instep inside the forward 50. Tough one to mark. Akers couldn't. Taking it out the back was Kemp. Threw it on the boot. Spilled as far as Cadman. Now back to Thomas. Handball into traffic. 35 out from the Giants' goal. Cadman's got it again. He's ripped down by Kennedy. And a good tackle from the ex-Giant. The Blue playing his 100th game this afternoon. He's had a good afternoon too as Matt Kennedy. Been plenty busy. And we'll have a ball up in the right forward pocket. Giants into attack. They trail by 25.
The former Giant, of course, as Briggs wins down the tap, trying to link up with Kelly. Little topo towards the goal mouth. Unable to take it, Cadman. It's stuck underneath him. Wiedering over the top. Umpires circles and we'll ball it up. 21 minutes gone in the final term. Carlton by 25. Ian Cohen on the boundary.
Carlton are going to have a special presentation for Matt Kennedy as well for game 100, so we'll talk to a player after that.
Here's Kennedy on cue, trying to knock it out deep in defence. Toby Green locked up. He's tackled by Nick Newman. And the umpire will ball it up in the right forward pocket for the Giants.
It's good defending here by the Blues. They've got numbers in there. They've got Curnow for the quick kick outside, Mackay for the quick kick outside. So it's going to be tough to score against.
Up it goes again. Toby Green just throws a boot at it as he was being dragged out of play. Tom Green and Cripps have it coming together off the footy. All amicable stuff, and Kennedy will take the kick from in the back pocket for the Blues after the out of bounds on the fall was paid. And Kennedy 24 disposals this afternoon. His 25th is a long right foot kick. Mackay in the pack, off the hands of Himmelberg, falls to Callaghan. Nice bit of roving. Buckley looping forward, hand pass. Thomas tried to slap it on to Tom Green. Only found the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in. 65 out from the Giants' goal. 16-15, 111 Carlton to the Giants 13-8, 86. They got it out to a game-high 30 points earlier in the term, did the Blues. They have kicked the last 8 goals in the ballgame.
Thrown back in, Briggs and Pitnet in a tangle. The umpire says a free kick going the Carlton Ruckland's way. Over the shoulder. And he'll take it at left half back.
I'll correct myself there, Clinchy. They kicked the 8 goals before the last GWS goal.
It's been an emphatic second half by the Blues, really, from the 17-minute mark of the third quarter onwards. The kick up towards Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow, spoiled away. Tom Green runs onto the loose footy, can't take it cleanly, races back after it, gathers, hand pass away to Whitfield. Good players just find their way out of trouble. Hand pass to Peatling, kicks into the middle of the ground. Well, the mark is taken by Briggs. Looks up to centre half forward. Toby Green on the lead. It's over his head. It clears he and Boyd. Racing back after it, Kemp. Hand pass away. Young kicks straight towards the boundary line, end over end. Brown for half a moment thought it was going out. He now has to chase after it. And he's tackled over the boundary line by Nick Newman. The two exchange a bit of a tussle as the boundary umpire comes to gather loose footy. And a throw in 60 metres out from the Giants' goal. The Blues by 25 points.
Carlton fans feel Callum Brown a little bit of mirth. All is rotated back into play. Himmelberg trying to knock it on to Callaghan. Diving over the top of the pack is Tom Green. Matt Nichols crosses the arms and says, I'll have it. Patrick Cripps picks himself up after laying tackle number 8. 37 disposals, 12 clearances, 8 tackles, 5 inside forward 50s. 11 score involvements for the Blues skipper. Callaghan at the stoppage. Handball to Whitfield. Handball to Harry Himmelberg right on the edge of the 50. Squeezes a right foot kick through the traffic to the top of the square, and a great mark is taken by Riccardi. At true full forward, Jake Riccardi will go back and should pop through his third, and Julie obliges. 14th goal for the Giants, so they've kicked 2 in a row here after Carlton kicked 8 on the bounce to open the game up. 3 for Riccardi this evening. 14-8-92 the Giants. Carlton 16-15-111, so that margin back to 19 points.
Well, that came from a clearance on the half-forward line, kicking the ball to a dangerous spot. The clearances at the moment was at 47-29 in favour of the Blues. It's been an absolute shellacking, and a lot of it comes down to, we're going to talk about Walsh and Cripps, but I thought Pitnet's been outstanding today for a couple of reasons. One, his work around the ruck. In that influential third quarter, he had 8 possessions. Normally he gets 8 per game. He had 8 in that third quarter, really set them up. But most importantly, allowed De Koning to go forward and kick a couple of goals. So I think the Blues today have found a combination of De Koning forward, Pitnet in the ruck that is going to be very, very damaging.
Carlton by 19 points with 3:41 to go, so the Lee Matthews rule is still sort of in play. Cripps gets the clearance, hand pass away to Ollie Hollands, hand pass to Walsh, gets the clearance out to the wing. It's gathered by Carroll of Carlton, hand pass looking for Cottrell, racing back Whitfield, tries to break the tackle for the Giants, turns it over. Ollie Hollands shovels out a hand pass to Hewitt, he lost it though. A chance for Ware for the Giants, kicks up towards Briggs at half forward, hand pass to Josh Kelly, looks into the pocket, kicks towards Riccardi, can't take the mark over the top of Wiedering. Charlie Curno's back in defence. He knocks it towards the boundary line, and Toby Green sees it out of play. There'll be a talking point, Toby Green, in the post-match, Berkey, as to his decision to decide to bump on Boyd, making contact to the head. We'll get your thoughts on that post-game, because no doubt it's going to be a talking point.
Factor in a little bit of extra taxation as well, potentially. If you're a Giants fan, you'd be considering that. Ball spun back into play. Hogan off the stoppage. Out to Ware. Human question mark. Kicks it up and down inside the forward 50. Not 15. Cripps has been paid the mark. Well, you know it's going Carlton's way when Jacobs Ware's kick went 8 metres and Patrick Cripps has been paid the mark. Carlton fans didn't care how far it went. Cripps kicks long down the outer side. Mackay with one hand to it. Couldn't take the mark. Does the roving. Fires the handball out to De Koning. He's got a long way to go down. Pinched by Iden. Handball back to Peatling. He shifts it laterally infield now to Daniels. Whips the kick defensively to Callaghan. He's got a defensive side of the centre circles. Eyes up. Looking for Ash. Overcooked it. And picked off pretty comfortably in the end by Hewitt.
He kicks out towards Matt Owies. A mark on his chest. Centre wing. The board is up in front of him on the interchange, so we know there's only a couple of minutes to go. He's going to turn and kick it backwards, and the mark is taken by Nick Newman at left halfback. The Blues have the Cats next week, Collingwood, Melbourne and Sydney, so an interesting run for the next 4 weeks. Well, GWS, with their unbeaten run coming to an end today, they've got Brisbane and Sydney in the weeks to come. The kick up towards Harry Mackay. Can't take the mark. Spills out the way of Finn Callaghan. Hand pass to Ash. Little fumble. Lost it. Sliding in Kennedy in his 100th game. Wins it back for the Blues. Hand pass to the wing. Retreats back. Gets it to Nick Newman. Kicks up towards Harry Mackay, who marks it left half forward for Carlton. He's right on 50. And I think he's going to take the full 30 seconds to try and just take some seconds off the clock.
Again, it was just a turnover the Giants were trying to run in waves, but the Carlton players were there covering it, brought the ball to ground, got the ball going back the other way. And that's the way you have to play against the Giants. It's a really tough way to play, but I think their defensive efforts today have been outstanding.
3 goals, 2 this afternoon for Big H. He puts it at the top of the square for De Koning. Offhand, still a chance. Kennedy off the ground in his 100th game. And the Blues come from everywhere to celebrate with him. The former Giant, the country lad. And he puts through a goal to mark the milestone. And the Blues are marching towards a famous win. 17-15, 117 to the Giants, 14-8, 92. And the Giants in frustration concede a goal from the top of the goal square.
Yeah, just a big pack, top of the goal square, ball hits the ground. Kennedy, you could just tell he wanted to get involved in that play somehow. No matter what, the ball's in the goal square, he's going to get involved. Threw his right boot at it, actually, and dribbled it through.
He's had a good day, Kennedy. 27 touches. 6 handball receives, 350 metres gained and 10 score involvements. Not bad for your game 100, and it's going to be a really, really good win for the club, which I'm sure they'll celebrate, no doubt.
He played 19 games for the Giants. He was traded for pick number 28, which the Giants used to take Sam Taylor. So that's been a bit of a win-win. Kick out of the middle here for GWS. Toby Green was lurking out the back. Almost came to him off hands. Spills to Akers for the Blues. Right foot kicks a high one out wide. Himmelberg! Oh, we know he can fly, Harry Himmelberg, and he got a bit of a set there. Sends it back inside the forward 50 immediately. Slapped down from Hogan toward Toby Green. Hogan picks it up. Wiedering jumps on top of him. And we'll have a ball up. Right forward pocket. Blues up by 25 points. We've ticked past half an hour in the last.
Close to the boundary. Umpire throws it aloft. Briggs into Koning. De Koning taps it down. Hogan got it back to Kelly. Screws it back towards the teeth of goal in the pack. Riccardi can't take the mark. Ollie Hollins has tackled. Did he have prior opportunity? Spills down the way of where? Holding the ball, I think. And it's not going to come before the siren sounds. Beware the Blues as they stamp their credentials at Docklands with a goal which comes through from Jack Buckley, who kicks the final goal of the match. They end the Giants' unbeaten run in round 6 of the AFL. Carlton with a 19-point win.
We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
So Jack Buckley kicks his first goal in AFL footy after the full-time siren had sounded, and it couldn't have been more casual you'll ever see in your life. I guess his side has been beaten, but the Blues are in by 19 points. 17-15, 117 to GWS 15-8, 98 in front of 40,474 fans. The Blues by 6 points at quarter time, by 9 points at half time. The Giants got out by 20 points after Josh Kelly kicked 2 goals in 90 seconds before the Blues stormed home with 10 goals in the last 6 of the match.
We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
3 goals apiece in that final term after the first goal for Jack Buckley in AFL footy. And really it was a 13-minute period in which the Blues slammed on 6 goals late in the third quarter, which will be the part that will impress Michael Voss the most. And at their rampaging best, they are a force in 2024. Carlton by 19 points after their first loss last week to the Adelaide Crows. They hand the Giants their first in season 2024. Carlton winners by 19 points. The thoughts of Nathan Burke and Kez Peterson with you on ABC Sport.
Where to start, Berkey? I'm not too sure. If you want to start at the top, Walshy.
You can wrap up the Blues as much as you want, Kez.
Maybe I will. They were outstanding today. You asked, I think, in the third term, at the start of the third term, can they come back after being down twice by 20 points? And I'm not too sure there's too many teams in the competition at the moment that would have the capabilities against a really classy outfit like the Giants to be able to do that, but they certainly did. Walsh was absolutely outstanding. I might throw the votes to you actually when we get to it, because I can't play favourites, so I'm not going to do it. But Patrick Cripps had 39 touches, 13 clearances, and 11 score involvements. Sam Walsh in his second game back, 35 touches, 17 score involvements, and 22 handball receives. I think you mentioned he's a player that you can tag because he always gets it with his back to goal, or to the opposition goal streaming forward, but a player who's prepared to run all day long like he is. He's such a hard matchup, and there has been much made of the ruck duo, and the same conversation happens with the Fremantle team and that 1-2 combo, and certainly some doubts and questions raised after last week whether that was the right combination. But I think we saw today, and it wasn't against a team that, you know, they put away by 10 goals or 11 goals and thought, yeah, that's going to work. They put it to work and really challenged it today against the team that, as I said at the start of the game, I still have them as favourites. So for the flag, that is, it really worked for them today. De Koning probably spent more time forward, and Pitnett probably arguably had his best game for the club. He was outstanding. He had 25 hit-outs, 7 clearances of his own, and impressively he had 13 contested possessions. So what he showed was that he's not just a tap ruckman. He's got the ability to follow up his work, and it's not going to be his one wood moving forward, but for Carlton today, him having 13 contested possession and being a big part of why they got on top in the clearances, which ended 48-32. That's an absolute shellacking against arguably the competition's best midfield. They really went to task on it. Carlton will be very, very happy with that. There's a few concerns. Zach Williams subbed out at half-time. I'm not 100% sure at the moment what his injury is, but it just adds, unfortunately, to the list. And at the moment, they all seem to be coming to the half-backers at the club. Obviously, McGovern and Sard missing today with hamstring injuries. Hopefully it's not a long one with Zach, because he has missed so much football and he's so important to this team. His run and gun and his ability to use the ball off the back line along with Boyd has been a real revelation for Carlton. That's what they've added to their game this year. Williams obviously was missing last year.
Just on Williams, the club tweeted earlier, Zach Williams sustained a knock to the Achilles, and that's why he was subbed out. We know the troubles he had with that particular injury.
Yeah, the Achilles injury that he had must have been 2 or 3 years ago now, and obviously coming off the knee. They're not going to take a risk with a player that's as important as he is to this team. Jacob Wiedering, I watched in that whole second half hobble around. He was very brave the way that he continued. He's going to be incredibly sore. I imagine he won't train at all this week. And Carlton have got a really, really important month coming up. They played Geelong, Collingwood, Melbourne and Sydney over the next month. So on the back of the loss last week, to the ability for them to bounce and get the win today, you don't want to be going into that month that I've just mentioned off the back of 2 losses. So I don't think it's panic stations at all for the Giants. So that was their first loss this year. They found the ability to get ahead twice in this game by 20 points. Jesse Hogan really was the one that got them going early. But I do agree with you, Berkey, that they're going to have to find another avenue to goal. They often rely on their smaller guys in the forward line to help. And Josh Kelly, I think he finished the game with 2 goals today. He's been really good, along with Daniels as well, who looked like he got injured at some point during that second term and didn't really have much of an impact on the game. Toby Green was pretty quiet by his own standards, had 18 touches, and he only went at 45% kicking efficiency. I don't think we'll see him do that again for the rest of the year. He probably had one of his down games, and he's, unfortunately for him, going to be the topic of much conversation for the incident with Boyd on the wing here.
So what's your view on it, Kez, while you're running hot?
I'm going to have to go and have a look at it again. I mean, this still doesn't look great, the picture that I'm looking at the moment. He's left the ground.
So Boyd's gone back with the flight. That's the only thing which I think is going to be interesting, but Green's elected to bump. He's made contact to the head. Boyd's been able to continue on, so that's the upside in Toby's case, but These are the sort of ones the AFL are trying to stamp out.
Well, the other thing as well, again, just looking at this still, so you're going to have to watch it in totality, but the still that I've got hold of is that he's not making an attempt to mark the ball. He's turned his body, and the argument I'm sure from him will be that he's protecting himself, which is the natural instinct to do when you're in that position. But as you rightly said, Clinchy, it's what the AFL is trying to stamp out. And I mean, thank goodness on this occasion that the boy was able to get up and continue to play and doesn't appear hurt. But I'm sure it's going to cause much debate.
Yeah, it's the old brace versus bump debate. Is he bracing for contact to protect himself, or is he bumping? He does make some significant contact with the ball that sort of shoots back in the other direction. So did he get the ball first? But one thing he won't be able to rely on is the Charlie Cameron good guy tax. That won't come into play with his past record, unfortunately.
So coming up next, Brisbane and Geelong for a lot of our audience from the Gabba, while the Western Derby 58 for our WA listeners and those looking for it on the ABC Listen app. Let's join the Blues, winners by 19 points with Ian Cohen.
Yeah, they're very happy down here, no doubt about that. And Sam Walsh score assist, I think, might be a club record for the Blues as well. We'll try to get to Charlie Curnow if we can, but they've got a presentation for Matt Kennedy still coming. Here it is.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old Navy Blues. We're the team, never let you down. We're the only team of Carlton. We're all the champions. Like send us, keep your hands up. And know that they'll be playing against famous old dark blues.
So there you have it. Very, very happy in the rooms. Lots of smiles. And there will be some sore boys, though, after this particular encounter.
Thanks, Koza. We're on air for about another 4 minutes or so I'm not sure we're going to get an interview if they're doing a presentation for Matt Kennedy in the room, so we might get the votes of the ABC Football of the Year, Berkey, just to clear all our commitments.
Certainly. I've given one to the big fella, Mark Pitnet. I thought he was outstanding, especially when the game was in the balance in that third quarter, 8 possessions, and gave his team first use. He was a big reason why they had 48 to 32 clearances. And then it gets pretty easy from then on. Given Sam Walsh 1 vote and Patrick Cripps for a well-led captain's performance of a 4-quarter effort, 3 votes. So Pitnet 1, Walsh 2, Cripps 3.
That was always going to be the hard part, Kez, wasn't it? Whether you went Patrick Cripps with a 3 for his 39 disposals, 13 clearances, 5 inside 50s and 7 tackles, or Sam Walsh with his 35 disposals, 6 clearances, 8 inside 50s and 4 tackles. It's hard to separate the two at times.
Stupid numbers. Can we give them 2 each?
No, it's not the way it works. So Berkey settled on Cripps with the 3 and Walsh with the 2.
I couldn't give it to a forward because De Koning and Mackay and Curnow all kicked 3 each.
Yep.
And if you're Michael Voss, you're going, what do I want from my big fellas? I think he would take 3 each any day of the week. That's outstanding.
So in your eyes, Berkey, the Blues end the Giants' unbeaten run. Does it solidify in your mind that they are a premiership contender this season and one of the top-notch sides?
It does. It does. I think they're... I always a little bit criticised Carlton because they had Mackay and Curnow up the front there, but who was around them? And now they've got Owies, Cottrell, I think, died out in that second half, but in that first half he was really, really pivotal up forward. You've got Holland, Durden, Fantasia, so they've got multiple avenues for goal now, especially if De Koning can find his way down there. And the way that he led today, a couple of times he shot back to the goal square, turned around, came straight back at the kicker. It was real smart full forward footy IQ. So I think the avenues that they've got to goal now are really vast, and they can take a mark, they can kick the ball on the ground, and to me that is a reason why I'm pushing them up there in contention. That and their defensive efforts. I look at Essendon, their defensive efforts a bit up and down, and St Kilda and Bulldogs and all these other teams, but Carlton, if they can defend the ground like that and come back from 20 points down against a team twice against the undefeated team, that also shows me that mentally they trust their game plan, they get back to the game plan, do what they need to do, and they prevail. So very impressed with Carlton today.
And Kaz, your thoughts on the Giants for listeners on News Radio and through New South Wales and the ACT. Midway through that third quarter when Josh Kelly kicked 2 goals in 90 seconds. I thought, like, wow, they've found an extra gear here, but maybe just the depth was tested after Carlton were able to surge in that late third quarter.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Clinchy. I don't think that the Giants have lost any fans today. I do think that today they were just beaten by a better team on the day. That's not to say that the Giants aren't the better team overall. We've got a few weeks to make that sort of conclusion, but that they showed, like, particularly in that first half, when they get on the roll, and particularly, I mean, we all know it's no secret that their game is generated off their half-back line and their ability to run forward in numbers. I mean, they've been given the name Orange Tsunami for a reason, right? Like, it's impressive when it gets rolling, and today the team that they came up against just found a way to overcome that with their defensive positioning and their system that they played. I mean, they certainly got on top in that area on a number of occasions today. They just weren't able to sustain it for the full 4 quarters. So I don't think that they lost any fans today. They've got a pretty tough month themselves. They've got the Lions, the Swans, Essendon and the Western Bulldogs to come. So I certainly don't think they've lost any fans.
So the Cats win against the Brisbane Lions. Is there a team unbeaten after this weekend?
50-50 completely.
It is, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I can't pick that one with any certainty.
I said the Cats, but again, with absolutely no confidence whatsoever.
Well, thankfully for a lot of our audience, that's where we're going next. There's no late changes for the Brisbane Lions, Jared Lyons, and Jai Clark is the sub for Brisbane and Geelong, whilst Neil Erasmus and Dom Sheed for Freo and West Coast. In whatever direction where you're going, enjoy the rest of your night with ABC Sport. Of course, action coming up from the Gabba and also from Perth Stadium. If the match you're looking for is not available on your radio, the ABC Listen app is your home of all live sport. The Blues winners by 19 points over the Giants. On behalf of the ABC Sport team, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for your company.